Welcome to a story where dreams come true. Talking about coming, we have our Jack protagonist waking up in a hotel room in the middle of the night after what appears to be a productive workout session. Just then, the previous workout partner texts him. He receives a message from Zhao Jia, the girl who dumped him before freshman year. Our guy is confused. Why did she unblock him? Why is she talking to him like they are still dating? Is it that time of the month for her? Without panicking, he checks the calendar and realizes that he just went back in time. No headache, no panic attack. He calmly analyzes the situation. The perks of post-workout clarity. He still remembers the time this dump truck dumped him for a rich dude. If bro had locked in, he would have seen "for the streets" written all over her face. But there were two big reasons for him not to realize sooner. He actually wanted to stay with her forever, but now he knows that she was only after the red envelopes. Now that he knows that a car with many drivers is bound to malfunction, he sends a termination letter to her. Giving her another chance to cheat on him would be like buying a chair for himself to put in the corner of the room. A system window pops up. The host has activated the dreams come true system with his quick decisiveness. His last life was bland, but this time he's going to make sure to live fully and freely. Meet Zhang Cheng, an 18-year-old guy. The height is 5'11" in freedom units. The important thing to notice here is that Zhang would receive 0.1 yuan per second. That's 259k per month. A 100 times more income than those children in his country's factories. He then opens a gift pack and receives 10 million cash SU7 Ultra, a credit card with a 1 million spending limit and a friendly scanner. The money is instantly transferred. To check the friendly scanner, he turns to the lady and oh my, she's pretty. Hi lol, this is Yu Zhao Zhao. She has 60 friendliness towards John and 94/10 body, as we can very clearly see. That privacy thing reveals the body count, which means John was the first beta tester of this visually appealing game. He remembers being stood up last night by Zhao, so he went to the bar to find comfort in booze, but he ended up finding comfort in boobs. She was way more depressed and drunk. It was no love at first sight kind of thing, just a mutual understanding where both parties benefit. Just then the girl wakes up, and now that both have rested, they can start working out again. Wait a second, Phew, you mean sister? Zhao clarifies he's a curious man who can't help barging through the open door in front of him. As a result, Dreams Come True system rewards him with another speedy car for his speedy approach, and a skill called Agile Tongue. Practice makes a man perfect, so he begins practicing the newly acquired skill on Zhao Jia. This helps him quickly move on to the second trip of this newly opened dungeon. By the time Zhang wakes up the next morning, Zhao Kao is gone, but she left him payment for unlocking her smart pun. Zhang doesn't seem happy about this treatment, but 10k is 10k. He regrets not getting her contact information, but for now he focuses on this critical hit card that can return him 10 or 20 times the money he spends depending on his luck. The max multiple is 50. Jia knows that before the invention of calculators we had Asians, so using his generational talent, he figures out that using credit cards would help him get more money first, which can be used to buy a super expensive car later and get more cash back. If it doesn't make sense, then you're trying to make sense of the wrong kind of story, bro. The strategy is to gather enough money to invest in the companies he knows are going to become rich soon. He won't have to work, plus the money would keep increasing. Just you wait, OpenAI, Zhang is coming. Firstly, he intends to use the property buying policy in Chengdu that has absolutely no limits, as long as the money isn't loaned from the banks of Big Yahoo. Just then, another gold digger appears. We get that she needs a ride, and not one in the car. However, get off the car, you beach. What if you left a dent there? She tells him that there's a plumbing issue at her place, and she would appreciate Zhang providing her with a stiff pipe. Zhang can see that already 28 pipes have been consumed, yet the drainage issue persists. He refuses her, saying that 28 people in a room is too crowded for him to enter. She's obviously irritated, but at least Zhang dropped her off at the best place available for her, the streets. Just then an uncle approaches her, offering to fix the pipelines with 30 years of experience. The lady cringes and tells the uncle to back off. He's confused, since he's a licensed professional, but another kind man approaches uncle and clears out the misunderstanding. He tells poor Unf that she's in search of a newer model of pipeline, and certainly not one that belongs to someone with less hair than her body count. John arrives at the biggest real estate office in the city, where the agents greet him. Zhao Dao is a beautiful newly hired agent, whereas Uncle Blazer is a veteran, slowly coming out of the closet with his flowery shirt. Seeing that it's just a young guy and not some rich pregnant uncle, he lets Zhao deal with Zhang. Like a diligent worker, Zhao walks Zhang inside and begins showing a few options. Mr. Flower, on the other hand, lights up a cigarette, betting all his experience that Zhang is just a window shopper. Xia starts from the bottom, but Zhang tells her to skip the cheap options and show properties around 1 million. Xia panics a bit and asks for area preferences. Zhang is looking for easy-to-rent houses, so that shortlists the options. He's happy that Xia is inexperienced because that way she won't try to exploit him as most realtors do. He takes a quick scan and Xia's inexperience is not just limited to real estate. Plus, she's too young to be working here, so Xia respects her for that, and obviously realizes that he would be the one to exploit in the future. Xia shows him all the best options between 300k and 1 million. Since Xia can't go over 1 million with his credit cards, he looks at the ones closest to 1 million. Settling for 800k instead of 1 million would mean that even if he got a 10x cashback, he would lose out on 2 million cashback. Therefore, he chooses the properties a bit over 1 million and offers to buy 5 if they can negotiate to a complete 1 million for each property. Plus, he'll pay the full amount right here, right now, and he'll require Jai's services to manage rentals afterwards. Jai is extremely happy, whereas Flower Uncle can't believe the error in his judgment. He feels disgraced. He has never faced such hard consequences of his actions since his last gay cruise. The manager with a white suit brings the forms and informs Zhang about their 2% commission. Zhang agrees to sign without reading anything as a symbol of trust in Jai. She alone is going to get around 50k for this deal. The system window pops up and reveals that Zhang got a 50 multiplier on 3 of those properties. By spending just 5 million, he got 225 back. Also, he now gets 0.8 yuan per second. At this point, the author isn't even hiding his lazy fantasies. He thinks that Shai is his lucky charm, so he asks her to listen to him for a second. The manager advises her to make Zhang their regular customer by offering the property that wasn't in those pictures. The 19-year-old house that no one has entered yet. It's not like Shai is against it, but it's too soon for her. They should know each other better first. Turns out, Zhang wasn't thinking about that. He's someone who just got rich. He doesn't know how the rich work. He's neither interested nor ready to work on the Zhang files yet. He asks for Jia's bank account and transfers her 350k as a thank you for her services. He knows that having a good relationship with her would be beneficial in the future. Beneficial both financially and physically. The friendliness immediately jumps to 85. This is the power of money, you guys. She requests to let her treat him to dinner as a thanks to his generosity. Now she's not at all against the idea of moving too fast. She'll happily be his dinner tonight, if he asks. Now that he's done with everything here, he drives away to look for more unclaimed territories. After a 20-minute drive, Jack is back at home to meet with the producers of our cornball MC. Thankfully, he's not trying to use the friendly scanner on his mom or dad. His father asks him about the graduation trip that he was talking about last time. Wow, a graduation trip. The author should drop another 20 billion in Jaju's account for thinking about mental peace. Jaj reveals that he's going to Madu since he's planning to enroll in Madu University. His dad allows him and tells him that he'll transfer the trip money. Of course he didn't refuse because no sane person would believe that Zhang has been showered with money lately by the tricks our author didn't use since the Heian era. Mama brings up the marriage topic, whereas Zhang simply wants to enjoy this watermelon before the KFC people steal it from him. He's not the naive guy he used to be, so he's gonna find a decent daughter-in-law for them. By booking the ticket at the last minute, Zhao had to settle for the economy class, where of course he ran into another baddie. The girl is seated in the middle while Zhao has the window seat. Unfortunately, the author himself is seated in the third seat. This creepy Discord moderator, who looks like he has a room full of real-life anime girl pillows. This guy's face can instantly tenfold the sales of condoms. Zhao gives up his seat for the girl and sits in the middle. This guy, who looks like he believes the earth is flat, protests, but Zhao claims that they are together. The girl is heading there for work, whereas Zhao reveals that he's on vacation. This squeezed teabag jumps into the conversation again and reveals his name, Qian Shen. He gives them friendly advice not to trust the hotels there. He doesn't have to worry about it because his daddy booked him a good hotel that sends a good car with a good driver to pick him up from the airport. He offers the girl to book a room for her at his hotel, but the girl ignores him like the terms and conditions page. Zhao reveals that the hotel he booked, Amenyang Yun, offers the same service. Mr. Squish Lemon Face is astonished. His flabbers are gasted at hearing the hotel's name because of how expensive it is. He calms himself and tries to show off by saying that he stayed there too, but he doesn't remember the 9,000 per night room having airport pickup service. Jag wouldn't know because he booked a courtyard villa that costs 80k per night. The girl is suddenly all ears. Let's hear a backstory of this girl. She's Zhou Ying, who went to the same school as Jag and was in the same class. She was famous because how often does a school have a student who is chauffeured in a Bentley? No one would dare to approach her because of that rich girl aura around her. She wasn't rude or anything, just a quiet kid who liked to stay alone. The kind of girl you would fall in love with and instantly reject yourself on her behalf. Just like Zhao Ying, Jia didn't pay much attention to her either because he was busy being a pet dog to Zhao Jai. Things men do just to get some. However, Zhao's family got into some mess in her second year. She started walking to school after that. She's not a rich kid anymore. Jia feels bad about bringing up the sad topic, so he indulges her in school days gossip until her mood brightens again. The friendliness value has already hit 75. This is more than he expected, so the author pulls out that one-sided crush Zhao Ying had on Li Jiang since the Heian era. They finally arrive in Modu, where Jiang meets Wang Yuyan, his private butler assigned to the courtyard villa. Jiang is happy to see the huge professionalism of Amenyang Yu. 80k doesn't feel too bad now. Jag offers to drop Zhao Ying off, but she's staying at a friend's house in Pudong, which happens to be in the opposite direction. She can get a taxi herself, so Jag shouldn't worry. However, Jag insists, thinking that Jag is trying to trick Zhao Ying into getting her in bed. He wants to save Zhao Ying from Jiang, so he gets to be the one to get her into bed. Bro, calm down. The only thing you're taking to bed is a large cucumber. Jiang then drops off Zhao Ying after exchanging numbers. Zhao Ying wants to treat him to dinner someday during his stay here as a thank you for today. Jiang agrees and drives off. Meanwhile, Mr. Pop Balloon was following them, but at this point he realized that he had lost. just like his father realized on the day this crushed cigarette was born. Half an hour later, Zhang and Wang Yuyan arrive at the hotel, where Zhang realizes the worth of 80k. Wang Yuyan helps him as per the stated perks of this room, but Zhang's mind is clearly functioning as an 18-year-old boy's should. At this point, we can't even blame him for folding. As the bath time is about to end, Wang Yuyan suggests visiting the VIP-only auction that's scheduled for tonight in this hotel. Since it's an internal affair, no dress code or anything is necessary. Except for the money, of course. She escorts him to the lobby where the auction has already started. The next item on sale is this extremely expensive, one of the only 10 models produced of this Rolex watch. The bidding shall start at 15 million. Jiayan couldn't care less about the watch, but he knows that this one will surpass a 25 million price tag in the future, so he ends up winning the bid at 18 million. Other rich folk are surprised, as he could have bought 2 Patek Philippe watches with this much money. Little do they know, our boy is gonna out-tard each of these rich fellas. Just then, Qin Fen approaches Jiang. Qin Fen is an extremely rich guy who has everything but a lighter. Bro, light that cig or put it back in the pack. The world already has enough performative Sigma Skibidi smokers. He was the other one bidding for the watch, but he sensed that Jia really must have liked it to bid 18 million for a watch, so he gave up. He asks if Jia is a watch collector or something, but Jia reveals that he's just trying something new. That's one way to show you're rich. Wang Zhang compliments Jia's pants for keeping those massive balls inside. He wonders why they didn't see him here before, so Jia reveals the university plan. Qin Fen is impressed, so he invites Jiang to hang out with them sometime. Our boy is on level 7 now, so he's getting 1 UN every second. That's over 900 million a year now, but this is still not enough for what he plans to do. Bro, what is it that you plan to do? You can even afford the World Cup final match ticket with all this money. Or maybe not, a certain orange fish might raise the prices again. Just then he runs into Xiao Xiao. Hi lol. Jia thanks her for giving him the best deal this world could offer to a man. She thought he was some poor student, so she compensated him for the night shift he might have missed at Starbucks or something. She certainly wasn't expecting him to be a rich kid. He expresses his desire to be compensated again, asking if she can accompany him to his courtyard villa. Zhao Zhao had a good time as well, so she agrees, as long as the workout can be leveled up a bit. She's planning to train till failure tonight. Their healthy pre-workout warm-up is interrupted by Zhang Yu. He's Zhao Zhao's ex-fiancé, who cheated on her with her best friend. In life, you will find people making the same mistakes you made. Sometimes they'll make mistakes you can't even comprehend, but never has there been a dumber son of a female dog to cheat on someone like Zhao Zhao. What more can a woman offer him? Would be a different scenario if Zhang Yu cheated on her with her best friend's husband. He certainly looks like someone who would intentionally go to prison so he can drop soap on the floor during shower time. He tells her to ignore the small stuff and look forward to their wedding. Zhao Jia hates him at this point. He's the reason she was drunk that night, and she refuses to suffer anymore. Xiao, who's calmly enjoying this soap opera, gets 2 choices presented to him. Either leave for a Kylian Mbappe outfit, or slap the shit out of Zhang Yu twice to get 3x enhancement to his physical attributes plus a bad luck card. This is hardly a choice. Even if the rewards were swapped, even if there were no rewards, even if he was penalized, he had already made up his mind the moment Zhang Yu appeared. A face so slappable presented in front of him. Losing this opportunity would be a bigger fumble than saying, "You are my family," and right. Still, Zhang confirms whether the physical enhancements include Lil Zhang as well. It is confirmed that his entire body, including all 3 of his legs, would be enhanced. Of course, Zhang steps forward and beats the crap out of him. The friendliness of Zhang Yu drops from 70 to 10, but he couldn't care less. Zhao Jia, on the other hand, is delighted to see the guy getting the perfect treatment. The incident involves 2 guys. One is a wealthy customer, while the other looks like a chewed gum. Of course, they're gonna help the wealthy one. Zhang Yu threatens to call security, but Zhao Jia assures Zhang that she'll testify against Zhang Yu. Zhang is rich and he's not from the hood. The police are not a problem for him. While Princess Zhang is still requesting a man to defend his honor, a guy with a dagger breaks into the hotel. He's already slimed a guy and grabs Zhang next. Zhang is finally feeling what citizens of London feel every night. Another system window pops up. This time, Zhang is offered the choice to either flee or stop the murderer. If he chooses the latter, he will get a skill called the milk squeezing technique. Yup, it is exactly what it sounds like. Jia doesn't want to save Zhang Yu, but missing out on that legendary skill with Xiao Xiao by his side would be like buying a PS5 and refusing to get the best controller. He uses the multiplier card to buff his stats and charges straight at the attacker. A single punch decides the outcome. Xiao Xiao is impressed as she wasn't expecting the corny level to rise further. He's not just a rich guy, he's a total beast. She'll know more about the beast now that he's gonna get that technique. Princess Zhang Yu realizes that maybe the chair in the corner of the room doesn't sound too bad. The entire lobby is praising Zhang. The police arrive and take the attacker in custody to send him back to London. They thank Zhang for using his plot armor to help them. Princess Zhang tries to man up again now that the police are here, but Zhao Zhao states that this femboy was trying to scam her into marriage. Her friendliness is at 90 now, so Zhang should just pack his bags at this point and look for a truck-kun to crush him. Go start a new life in Isekai as a demon lord's side chick or a goblin's green stick or something. He comforts Zhao Zhao in his arms, assuring her that he won't let that fly come near to his honey anymore. The police refuse to address the issue anymore, but this noisy trash bag isn't shutting up, so Zhang uses the bad luck card on him. Suddenly he gets a call from his bank that a scam happened, and all his money has been transferred to India. The receptionist comes running, saying that a tree has fallen over Zhao's car. Zhao finally runs away. Zhao is the type of guy who brightens up every room he leaves, so the hotel is all happy now. Now it's time for the planned workout session. Again, fuck you mean big sis? They talk a bit while getting into their birthday suits. Zhao Zhao is relieved that she won't have to marry that guy anymore. After all, her grandfather engaged her to Zhang when he was on his deathbed. Thankfully, Uns is no more. We were right, Zhang Yu was actually hooking up with her male friend, not female. Zhang has his eyes set on both of the goals in front of him, so he comforts her. She asks if he would actually date her. The relationship hadn't moved to the emotional level yet, but now she's thinking about seriously going out with him. Zhao grabs the opportunities firmly and agrees. The next morning, even the room cleaning ladies could tell that both Zhao Zhao and Zhao gave their all in the battle. The aftermath is clear from the battleground. Thankfully, their husbands are no longer warriors like Zhao, otherwise they might have to take a leave from work after every battle. Zhao Zhao and Zhao are sitting in a restaurant, replenishing the lost nutrients. Zhao sees a post of his friend showing off his birthday gift. Zhang decides to show off his birthday gift as well, so he asks Zhao Zhao for a few photos. He may not have a Benz or BMW, but the speed of this ride is faster and more comfortable. After Zhang uploads the pictures, all the rich guys hurry to the fire station to put out the fire that this post lit underneath their buttocks. This should be a lesson to them that God favors those who have plot armor. Zhang arrives at the Farrakha showroom to buy a little car for himself. This kind lady shows him the available options. In the showroom, there are two other customers discussing something. Suwan is trying to convince Mr. More Belly Than Hair that he shouldn't ask her advice on the car he wants to buy. Anja is simply trying to show off to first get into her good books before getting into her micropants. He states that he'll be the one picking her up once the show starts filming, so she should have a say about the car she'll be picked up in. Suwan thinks that he should rather make her the female lead than be her driver. Uns is fully willing to fulfill her wish, as long as his wish is also fulfilled. Jiang knows the girl by face. Suwan will soon become one of the big shots in the entertainment industry. She got popular after a pool photo shoot. The more Suwan delays giving her opinion, the more hair this baldy keeps losing. He then gets rid of the ugly mask he was wearing, only to reveal an uglier personality behind it. He clearly states that if Suwan doesn't keep him company, the deal is off. No investment from him. Suwan does not doubt her skills, so she straight up denies giving company to someone who looks like he's one ejaculation away from death. The stage is set for our protagonist to make a grand entry. A special mission pops up for Jiang. He should help Suwan out of this trouble and make her sign a contract with him. He'll obviously get rewards other than Suwan's affection. At least the system is helping other girls as well, and not just Jiang. For that, Jiang needs to show her that he is wealthy enough to back any offers he makes. Making sure his voice reaches her ears, he asks the salesgirl for a LaFerrari. Turns out money is not the only thing needed for LaFerrari. He should own 5 models of their brand to be eligible. Even though she's a woman, she still uses her brain to figure out another way. A higher down payment can allow them to use the loopholes in their policy. Down payment is not an issue for Jai, as he was already down to pay full price right here, right now. The entire showroom is surprised. Uns is not liking this young boy with hair all over his head, ruining the stage he set to convince Suwan. Even Suwan is impressed that the guy is simply asking for the most expensive car like it's nothing, unlike the fat pig in front of her. Not being able to see this unsexed face is the biggest win of the blind community. 40 to 50 million is pocket change for our Jia. The salesgirl brings out the manager, followed by the owner of this store, who coincidentally happens to be around today. The owner is Chin Fen. After greeting each other, Jia shares that he doesn't want to rely on a taxi while he's here, so he thought of casually buying a car. Chin Fen is not a fan of this epitome of humble bragging. Ching Fen congratulates the manager as a big commission is coming their way. Why? Because they got lucky to land a customer who's wearing an 18 million yuan watch. Thanks to the watch, they no longer need to verify if Zhang possesses the money he claims. While the manager and Zhang deal with the paperwork, Suwan can't help but find it weird to see such a young, rich guy. Normally, the rich ones spending this amount of money like to do bad things to people of Zhang's age. He must be worth over 100 million at this point. Xiao Huang has realized that he can't top the LaFerrari, so he should leave this place before his fragile ego takes more damage. Xiao Huang refuses to go along for drinks since she has a meeting at the company later. Huang reminds her that she hasn't accomplished anything yet. She should stop pretending to be a noble and do what he says. He'll give her time to think. She should visit him in his room, or be removed from the showbiz industry forever. Now that the fat baldy is out, Zhao approaches Suwan and apologizes for overhearing their conversation. He tells her not to worry as he is willing to invest in her. Now Suwan doesn't need to sleep with that pig corpse. Plus, Zhao is clearly more financially capable. She immediately agrees. So after exchanging their phone numbers, Zhao proposes to meet up tomorrow. Since LaFerrari might take a year to deliver, Chun Fen suggests checking out the luxury car show scheduled in a few days. He can get a car on the spot there. Later that day, Zhang arrives at the Red Hotel to meet up with the goddess. Hi lol. Zhao Zhao shows him all the top dishes available in this buffet, but Zhao tells her that she's more delicious than anything else. For the millionth time, "Phew boy, you mean good brother?" She politely asks for a bit more rest because the workout session last night already ruined her knees. Thankfully, Jai lets the relationship move forward, so she can address him as hubby, daddy, or darling. Anything but brother. Jai asks her about Su-wan, which worries Zhao Zhao a bit, but he assures her that he didn't fall for Su-wan or anything. He asks about Su-wan's potential as an actress, so Zhao Zhao reveals that if she lands a better company that actually invests in her, she has everything to make it big. Zhao Zhao is willing to help. Zhao first clarifies that Zhao Zhao is his #1 woman, and even if she wasn't, he would always treat her well. The difference between that gay fiancé and Zhao is that Zhao and Zhao Zhao haven't gone exclusive yet. Zhao states his intention of investing in her, even though they will have to pay Su-wan's breach of contract fee. Zhao Zhao shouldn't worry about establishing the company, as Zhao would take care of all the finances. He'll then leave Zhao Zhao in charge of that company. He might even give her some shares of the company. Zhao knows that Su-wan alone will become big enough to return a handsome profit. Zhao Zhao is not interested in shares or anything. She's just happy to become a company manager, compared to a department manager that she is right now. Plus the workout sessions are already a good compensation on top of a good salary. Zhao is the type of guy who knows how to take care of his baddies, so of course whatever the deal turns out to be, it will be in Zhao Zhao's favor. She's already grateful to him for saving her from that miserable life she was living. Just then Zhao receives a message from Su-wan, asking for the time and location of their meetup tomorrow. Zhao gives a rich guy smile, happy to see someone's eagerness. The next afternoon, Zheng picks up So-Chewan and heads to the Lujiazui, where she has reserved a table for two at the Baiyue Hotel. Turns out, the drama she's cast in right now is a small-scale project. The budget is only 5 million, but she believes that the story is good enough to return much more than 5 million. She offers to show him the script, but he refuses. He'll trust in Su-wan's judgment and invest. He even extends his phone if Su-wan wants him to invest first before they entertain further talks. However, Su-wan is more surprised at him agreeing to invest so readily despite only meeting her for the second time. She has never seen an investor like him before. Zheng finally reveals the condition for this deal. He wants Su-wan to work as an artist at his company. He'll take care of the contract breaching fee and everything. Now Su-wan should be getting suspicious of his motives, but being a good-looking guy has its own perks. She thinks about how she can land bigger investments in the future as well, if she works for Zheng. Plus, Zheng is a young and handsome boy, so letting him play with her cat wouldn't be as bad as dealing with that disgusting triple-chin chimpanzee. She then reminds herself to lock in and forget the indecent thoughts. The company is yet to be made public, but if Su-wan agrees, they will do it right away. He knows that Tiancheng Entertainment doesn't value her, but at his company, they will completely focus on her for the next 2 or 3 years. That should be enough time to enter her in the big leagues. The friendship value is still at 50. Despite that, she asks if Zheng has any other special conditions that she should know about. Well, it's not like Zheng has zero thoughts about that stuff. However, he's one of the patient ones. He knows that the system is already handing everything to him on a plate, so why hurry? He explicitly states that he won't ask her to have shameful contact with anyone, including himself, for work-related benefits. Su-wan's friendship value rises to 60 as she wasn't expecting someone of this age to not use his position for benefits. She agrees and begins referring to him as boss, but Zheng tells her to be casual and call her a friend. She inquires about his age, and the answer only increases her admiration for Zheng. She requests to be the one paying for this meal as a thank you. If not with her body, at least Zheng should let her pay with money. Now that the task is fulfilled, all of Zheng's funds will be channeled through Hengcheng Investment Company. It is assumed that he bought shares of that company earlier sometime. Along with the plot armor, he now has the legality armor as well. He decides to inform his parents so they can slowly begin digesting the fact that their son is rich now. This company will return him 600k every month, so the parents are extremely happy for him. The dad low-key wants those trip funds back, but he knows he won't get them. He advises Zheng not to get carried away, as this is just the beginning of his career. Zheng then asks Su-wan to accompany her boss daddy to the mall so they can buy gifts for his parents. They arrive at the Patek Philippe store, where the cheapest option starts from 200k, so obviously Su-wan is flustered. She runs into a senior actress and her ex-co-worker Lin Ru. Lin Ru is accompanied by her sugar daddy. Su-wan hasn't quit the company officially yet, so she refers to Zheng as a friend. Lin Ru doesn't expect Zheng to actually have the money to buy anything. Her sugar daddy, on the other hand, is showing interest in Zheng. Lin Ru has a friendliness of 20 and a body count of 78 at the age of 27. Imagine having 78 controllers connected to one PS. Wan asks about Su-wan, so Miss Trainwreck refers to her as a small maid from her previous drama. Wang still gives his number to Su-wan in hopes of giving some role to get some back. Miss Yu's car is irritated and jealous to the point where the jealousy bar is almost as high as her body count. They start checking out the watches. The first one the salesman presents is this 380k watch for women. He's not that rich in his parents' eyes yet, so he wonders if this would be the right choice. He still asks for watches over 500k. Miss Shared Property takes an emotional hit as she had to let Uncle Wang into her forbidden forest many times just to get that 380k watch. To our Kate, Suwon is low-key enjoying this new side of Miss Arrogant free trial. The system seems too thirsty to see Suwon in Jang's bed as it pops up with another assist. Jang should buy her a watch. However, she refuses to accept the watch as a gift, because she intends to buy one with her own hard-earned money. Miss Multiplayer Mode still thinks that these two are window shopping. The shopkeeper brings a few good options. The one Jang likes is a bit loose, so Suwon tightens it. Jang expresses his preference for the tighter the better. He knows what he's doing. His sneaky attacks are working as Suwon's friendship value rises to 70. This increase just gave bro a green signal to slip in a few more attacks every now and then. He buys two of the same watches worth over $1 million. Even Mr. Number 78, Uncle Wang, is shocked. The next up is a watch for his mom, so he asks Suwon for assistance. Suwon picks a really pretty but slightly expensive one, costing $850K. Jang asks Suwon to wear it so he can see how it looks on her wrist. He then buys this and another watch as well, telling Suwon to keep this one on her wrist. She tries to refuse, but our boy has already paid for it. His mom is already in her 40s, so this may not look very good on her. He finally convinces Suwon to accept his gift, and the friendliness rises to 75. The total bill came out to be just under $4.5 million. They even got a complimentary gift. At this point, Miss Season Pass has gone crazy with frustration. Wong's plan to buy her a watch and treat her to a candlelight dinner so he can light his candle later that night is ruined. As a result, they decide to leave without buying anything today. Jang, on the other hand, gets a 3 buys cashback reward and gains $13.1 million after spending $4.5 million. He gained 4 watches and lots of friendly points for almost $9 million profit. Makes sense. He's not a greedy guy, so he brings Suwon to another store and buys her an expensive handbag. At this point, she can't even hold back if Jang tries to make a move. In fact, she offers him a drink as they are heading to her apartment. Jang reveals that he doesn't drink, otherwise ladies will try to take advantage of him, and then claim that by showing veiny arms and a sharp jawline, he was asking for it. It's not easy to survive as a man in a world filled with dangerous women. He then drops her off and actually leaves. Her friendliness rises to 80 as she still thought that he's only saying all that to get to her good side, to ultimately pop some cherry tonight. Now she's sure that he's a really good man. Meanwhile, Jang is already happy enough with the fact that soon he's going to raise more friendliness, followed by raising some legs. He arrives back at the courtyard villa and decides to swim first before taking a bath. Manager Wong is low-key surprised. She's fully aware of the devastatingly high price of this room, so she wasn't expecting Jang to stay for the entire week. No one has been able to afford the room for this long, with the sole exception of Satoru Gojo, of course. Jang then asks about the luxurious dinner options. Manager Wong reveals that they offer Italian, Japanese, French, and Chinese cuisine. The yellow croaker from the Italian restaurant is their specialty. Jang knows that yellow croaker costs millions, whereas Alba white truffles cost hundreds of dollars per gram. He only wants to use the food rebate card, so it's kinda like an investment. He then asks Manager Wong for a massage, expecting it to be a normal one, but gets treated with an oily Nuru massage. It was unexpected, but don't worry, we won't see him complaining. The massage is over, so Manager Wong takes her leave. She'll pick him up tomorrow for the auto show. The next day, Jang arrives at the auto show that is filled with cars and baddies. Chun Fen couldn't make it due to some urgent business. Poor guy has to actually work to earn money, unlike someone who slept with the author to get billions without doing anything. Jang has finally entered the rich class, where he can wear bizarre clothes and call it fashion. Why is the tie so small, and what's the point if you're gonna wear it like a bitch collar? The new cars are good, but the ones he saw so far are bland. The most expensive one was only $2.2 million, so Jang could hardly consider it a car. Just call it a modern donkey cart at this price point. Just then, he comes across a few of his classmates. They are gathered around a beautiful car. Turns out, the shape and headlights they were admiring do not belong to the car but to the lady in front. Jo Ying is working as a car model tonight. If you forgot, she's the one from the plane, the rich classmate who went poor. Just as Jang gets a closer look at Ju Ying, he instantly realizes what the fuss is about. They are all mesmerized. It's like they finally found the one piece. Of course, there's going to be a guy here waiting desperately for our protagonist to come and humble him. He asks Ju Ying when she'll get off from work, but this girl in pink interrupts him, saying that she's a busy girl. She already rejected their invitation to this graduation trip, so better not bother her. Seeing how Zhou Ying is getting uncomfortable, Jang steps up and greets everyone. They were just together till the graduation, but somehow, he feels different now. Partly because this is his second attempt at life, and partly because he can buy them all right now and put them in his cotton fields. This blue shirt guy desperately craving for Zhu Ying's attention is the one who organized this trip and deliberately left out Jang. The girls wonder if Jang had some surgery or something since he looks the same yet so different right now. Mr. Green Umbrella Head claims that Jang still has nothing on him since he's still the world's most handsome mushroom. Jang wonders if they are here to buy a car, but Yui reveals that they can't afford it and only stop to check out Zhou Ying. She's clearly looking down on her for doing a low-paying job, but the blue shirt guy defends Zhou Ying, saying that her life, her choice. Too bold of Yui to degrade Zhou Ying for being a car model when her own body count is more than the number of students in their class. Jang wonders why Yui's friendliness is at 90. He's barely friends with her, yet she wants him to be her one and only number 31. Yui, on the other hand, has 75 friendliness and just 2 body count. This 75 is also unexpected though. Mushroom Guy indulges Jang in small talk, but bro only sees his goals. He doesn't believe in failure. He greets Yui Ying and asks this blue shirt loser whether he's gonna buy the car behind the goddess or not. Blue shirt guy becomes a car freak all of a sudden and starts reading the manual of this extremely expensive car. Jang claps for their class president to know so much about Ferreira. Apparently the car is around 8 million. Jang then teases him for knowing so much yet having no intention to buy the car. Joe Ying is already embarrassed, so she asks them to shoo away from here now. Blue shirt guy doesn't want to lose face because of Jang, so he brings out that one fact about him that can get him any girl in this world. A fact that is the ultimate cheat code to make women fall in love with him. The move that alone can make women pregnant. The unbeatable nerd card. He talks about the massive 625 points he scored on the college entrance exam and how his parents want to gift him a car for his hard work. He would gladly buy one if Zhou Ying showed him a few options. Almost she tells this nerdy-all loser to go over to the sales assistant. He doesn't back down, so Jang reminds him to at least work on his riz before trying to bag a goddess. He tries to embarrass Jang by telling him to buy it if he's not all bark and no bite. Jang agrees, as long as he gets the car model with that car. Zhou Ying laughs, which further agitates the Lujiazhu class president. Just then, the manager hears the noise and scolds Zhou Ying for neglecting her work and chatting with some random dudes. Jang again teases Shu Dong for ruining the situation. He then steps forward, claiming that the car is too average for his taste, but with this model beside it, it looks classy. He tells the manager that he would very much like to buy the car and would be happy if the car model comes with the package. Normally, the manager wouldn't entertain such jokes, but seeing the expensive watch on Jang's wrist, he politely responds that he will get a car film, though Jang takes out his credit card and states that he will be paying in full. His friends are shocked. They weren't expecting a plot twist almost as big as I'm the Armored Titan, and Bluetooth is the Colossal Titan. Zhudong tells him to stop messing around. He's causing trouble for Zhao Ying, but Jang clarifies that he's actually helping her. The manager confirms that the commission of this sale would definitely go to Zhao Ying. The friendship value increases to 80. Jang is still trying to get the model in the deal as well. Zhudong thinks of a plan. The plan is as plain as his personality, so let's skip it. Well, the car is ready to drive, so the manager completes the paperwork and heads off for other arrangements, while asking Zhou Ying to treat their customer well in the meantime. Blue Shirt is finally realizing that Jang did actually buy the car. He wasn't just fooling around. Mushroomhead wasn't expecting Jang to be a rich guy, especially since Jang would never lend him money. Suchao's friendliness has gone to 95, so at this point she might even bend over right here. Yui reminds her that Ferrara only has 2 seats. Jang bought this car for Zui Ying. She can understand the rest. Suchao wants Zui Ying to go do her job and leave her to be the passenger princess of Jang. At this point, Jang is less concerned and more impressed with the wholeness of this girl. He never knew there were levels to this Shiri. Jang still thinks that the car is looking lame now that Zhou Ying isn't standing beside it. Juya realizes that Jang is out of his league, so she tries to ruin his moment with Zhou Ying by bringing up his breakup with Zhou Jai. Zhou Ying never knew they had broken up, so that only makes things better. Plus, he clarifies that his breakup has nothing to do with this situation, especially with Zhou Ying, since any man would be lucky to be with a goddess like her. Mushroomhead notices the expensive watch, so Jang simply covers up by saying that the car and this watch are gifts from his parents. Shudong thinks that Jang is only pretending to be rich, but he can't prove it. Shuja asks Jang to join them for dinner with the intention of heading somewhere else alone, just the 2 of them. He claims that he has an appointment later today, so he'll contact her some other day. The classmates leave and Jang tells Do that he'll look around a bit more so she can continue her work. Just then, the salesgirl approaches Jang and tries to sell this red car. He doesn't care about the features, but he can totally see himself making out with Shosho in this car, so yeah, pack it up, lady. The car costs 9.5 million, so Jang gives her the card and lets her handle everything else. He won't be needing it right away. He tells the salesgirl that it's a gift, and he will share the recipient's address later. Meanwhile, this pretty girl is recording the car that Jang bought for her stream audience. She knows a lot about cars, so she is sharing it on her stream. Unfortunately, the management doesn't like streamers and reporters who are here just to record. If she can afford one of these, she can record all she wants but not otherwise. Even the audience feels bad for her. She was just imparting wisdom while making sure the audience could see all the good bits. Zhao Young is bamboozled. She just saw Jang spend 20 million in less than 30 minutes. Even in her rich days, they weren't rich enough to be spending 20 million in 20 minutes. After 2 hours, the paperwork is complete. The red car is on its way to Shosho, whereas the Ferrara is ready for him. There's still the license plate issue because Jang isn't a local in Shanghai. Worry not, bro. Here comes the license generating skill that the system has never used since the Heian era. Not just any plate though, he gets one with his initials, and one of the most expensive numbers. The manager is wondering just how rich this dog collar guy is. Jang pretends that he booked the number in advance. Seeing the way the license guy treated Jang, the manager wonders if Jang is the offspring of the richest man or something. He then meets up with Zhou Ying. She suggests heading for dinner right now, so Jung obviously agrees. Just then, his phone rings and this mushroom head begs Jung to come save him before he jumps into the Huangpu River and deletes himself. He claims that he's heartbroken right now. So is everyone, bro. April just went by, and we all had to remember Kari again. Man up. Surprisingly, Jung prioritizes saving the life of his friend instead of having dinner with this goddess. Bro, there are enough mushrooms in the world. One less wouldn't make any difference. You should carry on. Jia Yui could tell Mushroom Head wanted to plant some mushrooms in Shuya. They reschedule the dinner date as Jang arrives at this bar. Turns out, Juya was treating him like a dog, and he would still gladly bark whenever she ordered. Despite all that effort, he saw her following Shudong in the bathroom. Upon closer inspection, he saw things he shouldn't have seen. Therefore, he's heartbroken right now. Jang reminds her that they weren't dating each other, so Yuya didn't cheat on him or anything. Still, he advises him to stop chasing Yuya. He deserves better than being someone's number 32. Jang tells him as politely as he could that the girl he loves belongs to the streets. Mushroom Head keeps chugging down beers, hoping that while all this beer leaves his body, the feelings for Yuya leave too. After some time, Jang calls a taxi for him and Mushroom Head leaves. He then calls for a designated driver to drive him off. A drunk girl appears claiming that the car belongs to his boyfriend. This is Chen Li, who is steadily heading towards a century in her privacy score. She looks at Jang and apologizes for the misunderstanding, saying that he looks a lot like her BF. Jang tells her that she doesn't look anything like his GF, so she better leave him alone. She starts flirting with him and offers her willingness to play a bit with him. Aigen is obviously not going to let someone with a body count greater than the number of people he met in his entire life smash. Just then, the designated driver finally arrives. It's the same streamer girl who was asked to leave the auto show. Her name is Qiao Yingying. Jang turns her camera away first and asks whether she's a streamer or a designated driver. Turns out, her main job is an outdoor anchor, but this driver thing is a side gig to earn. She asks if she could take a picture of his car and keep recording while driving. Jang tells her to do whatever she wants since he couldn't care less. She begins sharing her knowledge about the car with her viewers while showing the best features of the car and herself simultaneously. This rundown car tries to offer her services, but Jang tells her to shoo away now. Jang has driven sports cars before because she used to be a car blogger. Yin's friendliness is still at 50 with a 0 privacy score. Jang notices the name of her stream and decides to check it out. Turns out, her donations are way too low. The top donor only gave 300 yuan. He feels sad for her after figuring out that her daily income is just around 60 yuan, despite having over 10k viewers. No wonder she had to pick up a side gig. She reveals that she doesn't have any specific talent or the ability to suck up to the top donors. She wonders how Jang walked freely into the auto show, so he guesses that they might have seen him at the Ferrari dealership. She then speeds up and drops Jang along with the car at Amineglun. He praises her driving skills, and she asks about her preference in a live stream. Being an 18-year-old guy, of course, his answer is beautiful women. She wonders if Jang would drop by her stream sometime, but he tells her that he's just a freeloader, someone who watch but not donate. Jang could see how hard Yui is trying to get some raunchy topic for her stream as a publicity stunt. She wants to freeload off him, so Jang entertains the idea for a bit, making her realize the weight of her own words. It would be different if she were someone like that Chen Li or Zuya, but car rides are the only rides she has ever experienced, so she herself can't back the statements she's making. They stay after a bit of teasing. Jang ends the fun and says goodbye to her. Yui takes a hit to her confidence. Is she really that unattractive that Jang wouldn't even add her on WeChat? Despite that, her friendliness still increased, and Jang just witnessed how ladies can be dishonest even with themselves. Just then, Jang receives a message from Wang Zheng, asking if they can have dinner together at Aminyangyun tonight. Since he plans to attend university here, having social relations beforehand would be beneficial. He asks the manager to prepare a dinner for 5 with the most expensive ingredients available. He's also trying his best to maintain a nonchalant stance, so he doesn't look like an uncool country bumpkin. Tom. Half an hour later, the guests arrive and are shocked to see the food worth 3 million in front of them. They are honored, of course, but still shocked. He could have bought a mansion with this much money. After the dinner, the guests suggested a drinking party, but Brull already drank enough with that mushroom head, so he apologized and promised to join them tomorrow night. After the guests leave, Jang pays the bill of 2.98, and using that food rebate card, he earns 149 million back. This meal was totally worth it for him. To all the other authors who try to make sense of their protagonists slowly getting stronger and richer, we are sorry for this lazy guy. At this point, it was more surprising that he didn't get the 20 million he spent on cars back up. Manager Wang leaves the room to let Jang rest, even though she's the one with the perfect pair of pillows to rest on. Back in his room, Jang checks out the stream of Yuian. A 94-point attractiveness is clearly not an exaggeration. Jang hasn't deposited anything in this account, so of course, the system deposits 3 million shark fin coins to his account. His account has suddenly risen to level 65. Jang sets the name of his account to Dinghai Shenzhen and joins the stream. He makes his presence known, so Yui immediately greets him, because he's the first level 65 account to land on her stream. She has a guild PK mission today. Round 1 is against Huang Ling with 70 body count and 70 kg of makeup on her face, combined with 70 beauty filters she's using. Yui is pretty enough to wipe the floor with Huang, but the skill gap is just too much. Yui hasn't won a single round in her streaming career. She's basically a free win for the other streamers. This time she must win 2 rounds or she won't be able to afford rent. Just as the round is about to begin, a new quest appears. Zhang should help Yui and win the tournament. As a reward, he can get up to 50x cashback. Not even surprising anymore. Zhang didn't think too much about her, but now that he's about to become his #1 donor, he wonders what else he'll be able to donate in her. Exactly what a trash bag should think about. The stream begins with Yui looking obviously irritated with all the freeloaders on her stream. She tries to guilt-talk Zhang into donating more, but only ends up making the freeloaders angry. It's always the poor and tightwads who get offended easily. Yui tries to win them back by apologizing. Zhang makes the first move of dropping 5 weak chickens. Yui thanks him, but deep down she wonders how big a loser this guy has to be to donate 1 yuan while being a level 65 account holder. She wonders if her appearance is that bad or something. Yui stands on 20 points while her opponent is on 300. Zhang then asks Yui if she will be his designated driver tomorrow, since she was streaming as a driver earlier today, if he makes her win. Yui agrees, so this thirsty dude drops 3 of the most expensive super rockets at once. Each rocket is 2,000 points. All of a sudden, Yui is 20 times ahead of her competitor. 6,200 to 300 score. Not even Oklahoma got swept like this by the Memphis Grizzlies in 2021. Huang Ling's ugliness is finally showing up, as a big shot appearing in the first round was not on her bucket list of 100 things before turning into a zombie. Huang Ling tries to win over Zhang, but she doesn't understand that Zhang is a scum who will only enter the uncharted territories if he's the first to do so. Right now, Yui is his target. At least he'll make sure that the deal is beneficial to both parties. It's up to the girls whether they will allow him inside their forbidden garden or not. Yui starts singing to tip the scale in her direction, but it only turns out to be a massive win for the deaf community. Zhang finds it cute and silly though because her other assets compensate for these minor issues. Yui Huan Ling tries to persuade her biggest patron Dezui to donate as much as possible. The round has officially begun, so Dezui and Wang Ling try to scare away Yui and Zhang. Little do they know, they are up against someone with plot armor. The freeloaders are amazed to see the amount of donations in just the first round. Zhang is still keeping up. He's enjoying the cute panic look on Yui's face. To see more of this expression, Zhang drops 20 shots at once. Yui's stream gets stuck. She wonders what's wrong. Upon realizing what just happened, she's stunned. 40k dropped like it's nothing. Well, it is indeed nothing for someone who never had to break a sweat to earn. The viewers in this room have already exceeded 10k. Yui bows down to thank him, making sure he can focus closely on the thanks hanging out on display. This is the first time she has received 20 shots at once. Just wait, girl. He's planning to give more shots once you're in his bed. Zhang notices something. Her face looks very different than usual. The filters she's using are only reducing her original perfect traits. He asks her to turn those off. She doesn't want to. She doesn't feel confident enough, but she owes him for this round, so she agrees to do so. All of a sudden, all those viewers realize what seemed to be an 8x10 is actually an 11x10. They thank Zhang for noticing it. Her fans prohibit her from ever using those filters again. The second round begins between Yui and Shouchan. Yui asks for their support once again. Shouchan's patron Yishihua starts with 5 big planes. Zhang follows with more super rockets until that guy drains all his money. Shouchan is knocked out. Similarly, Yui knocks out one after another with the help of Zhang and finally makes it into the last round. The other finalist is Dai Xiaomei, one of the 3 biggest streamers on this platform. Not only is she very pretty, but she can sing and dance as well. Unlike Yui, who doesn't have such talents, she was intentionally sent by the guild since some big shot has already dropped 800k and helped Yui into the finals. Even Zhang likes the dance performance that Dai Xiaomei just blessed them with. He openly praises her, making Yui worried that she's about to get abandoned like a black child whose father stepped out to get some cigarettes 5 years ago. That would have been the case if Zhang were simply donating out of goodwill to the one with more talent. However, Zhang is only doing this to satisfy Luo Zhang. At this point, he's just showing all the viewers the power of money. Yui begs Zhang to continue his support for one more round. She promises to sign up for dance classes right after this stream so she can dance however Zhang wants her to. Dai Xiaomei didn't come alone. She's backed by 3 big donors, 3 others like Zhang who will drool at the sight of women on their tiny screens, 3 undefeated champions who only spend their money on 2 objects, women showing skin and tissue paper. Yui mocks one of the big 3 perverts of all time, knowing that Zhang will have her back. The viewers admire the boldness of this new streamer. Zhang was only given 3 million in this app. With only 2 million left, he thinks that he might not defeat those who have never seen defeat. Zhang tops up more money through his bank account and fires 20 rockets at once. Now that he has come this far, he needs Yui to win for all the cashback rewards. Hence, he will entertain the battle among the dishwashers a bit more. After some time, the greatest battle of perverts between Zhang and 3 Levs concludes. Yui wins with 1.6 million points compared to Dai Xiaomei's 575k. Now that Jang has emptied the 3 big losers and won this honorable title on this platform, he launches a couple more rockets to declare victory. Yui can't believe that she won. Not only that, but she generated over 2.5 million with over 50k viewers at the end. She'll get 700k commission after the guild takes its cut, just by today's stream alone. And she thanks Jang, asking if he can share his number so Yui can thank him however he wants. Jang tells her that it won't be necessary. She can be his designated driver again to Emanyang Yun, like today. At this point, Yui and all her viewers realize that Dinghai Shenzhen is that young man from earlier today. Yui's friendliness has reached 85 as she wonders why Jang went so far for him. She can take a peek in her dress and she'll realize his source of motivation. But the girls in this story are without a doubt as dumb as the author of this story. Jang only needs 5 more points now. The table is set, balls aligned. He just needs to line up the cue and shoot in her pocket. Now for the reward time. Since Yui's satisfaction reached the highest possible limit, he gets 1000x cashback, so a total of 2,030 million is deposited into his account. Even calculus makes more sense than this author's money system. Jang thinks about how he had a great time, plus he got so much money. Life really is easy when you're riding the author's D. The next morning, Jang wakes up to Yui's message, asking when she should start her service as his designated driver. She couldn't sleep thinking about him all night. Jang has plans with Wang Jung to meet at Tax, so he tells her to pick him up tonight. Now she can't sleep with excitement. At 8 p.m., Yui meets up with Jang earlier than the scheduled time and thanks him for his help last night. Jang acts all cool, happy to see that what he wishes to attain is just a few hours away. Jiang's Tax is the most popular and largest bar in Shanghai, a regular hangout spot for all the big celebrities. Just as they arrive there, Jang is attacked by the sea of baddies, all of them waiting for some sugar daddy to appear and show them a good time in exchange for their currently on display assets. Bro, has the author ever stepped out of his gooning chamber or not? Again, we shouldn't try to make sense of the wrong story. Just enjoy the visuals. The girls surround him while each of them tries to be the one to serve him. Yui feels left behind as she sees the trash collector being taken away by trash. Yui feels a bit jealous. How dare the other girls try to snatch away someone just because he's rich? Only she has the right to fall for him because of the display of his money last night. She breaks through the swarm and grabs Jang's hand, showing everyone that he's already here with a lover. The girls disperse, so Jang pulls Yui closer, asking if she's planning on being his lover tonight. Yui clarifies that she only did that to save him from those girls. She then pushes him away. Jang doesn't like being pushed away, so he tells her to refrain from doing any such thing in the future. Don't snatch away a hungry guy's food if you're not planning to offer something better in return. Da Hao and Wang Hun walk outside to see who's causing all that commotion with the ladies. Upon seeing Jang, they realize that no further questions are needed. Of course, everyone would go crazy and bend over for some walking with author's D inside. They wonder who Yui is, so Jang reveals that she's his designated driver, as he may not be sober enough to drive back. The guy then replies saying, as expected of a martial arts master. Fug does it have to do with martial arts? Bro, just bring your moms and sisters at this point and present them to Jang. Third hell, they enter the bar to find Temu versions of our Supreme Mai Sakurajima. Jang thanks Wang Sheng for making perfect arrangements. No pimp can do better than him for a wannabe Sigma like Jang. Wang Sheng then orders 2 sets of big dragons that cost over 200k per bottle. However, they still think that it's not on par with Jang's yellow croaker last night. He tells this beach, who couldn't care less about some yellow fish, that Jang spent 3 million on a single dinner. All the girls are surprised, because they are here to earn money, so what else can they do than to show admiration? 3 bottles appear with 3 bunny girls, the drinks are poured and the party begins. Zhao King tries getting closer to Jang, but he doesn't want anyone over privacy count. He is surprised to see the first person with a 98 rated body. Her privacy is still too low for someone who hangs out in nightclubs. At least he acknowledges that. Yui is feeling jealous again. She thought he would demand more from him than that one hug. She doesn't like how he's all touchy-touchy with another baddie in front of him. She makes a move by trying to raise a toast. Jang appreciates it and offers a drink. However, she turns it down, saying she needs to drive later. Jang could see the desperation in Yui's eyes, the way she wants him to look at her. Xiaoqing can wait for now because tonight he's investing everything into Yui. Jang finally makes a move on her, but Yui has zero experience. She heard people online saying that girls should be reserved. No matter how much she wants it, she should play hard to get. Yui uses that strategy, but it backfires. Jang is now irritated at this girl. After spending 2 million, she's still acting shy. Jang gets up and joins the other girls on the dance floor, leaving Yui alone. One thing is for sure, no one can beat our author in the corny competition, but he's trying his best to compensate by showing baddies every panel. Jang has 2 arms, so he accommodates a baddie in each arm, enjoying the best time of his life. The girls suggest watching a movie or something, so Jang agrees. These boys join to lick Jang's balls, saying he's so funny, haha. In this story, we either have baddies that Jang will bag, or guys who make sure Jang's balls are never dry. Yui tries to interrupt them, but Jang ignores her like God ignored you guys while distributing good looks. Yui is on the verge of crying. She regrets pushing him away. She came here prepared to do what she never did before. Yet Jang is ignoring her. He looks back and notices the tears in her eyes. The plan is successful. Yuin is finally at 90 friendliness. Jang was intentionally making her jealous to do this. He spends another 2 hours dealing further emotional damage to Yui, who seems to have completely fallen for a trash bag now. The party finally ends and Jang calls a taxi for the two baddies. It appears that he's taking them to the hotel along with him, since 4 people can't fit in his small car. However, he pays the driver and tells Uns to drop the girls off at their home safely. Uns tells him to take a photo of his license plate as a guarantee that both fatherless baddies will reach their single moms safely. The girls don't seem too happy about this surprising change of events. All that rallying without any smash pissed them off. Jang and Yuin arrive back at the hotel after 30 minutes. Yuin asks if she can stay here since it's dangerous to travel alone at night. Jang reminds what she told him that she's not that kind of lady, so he transfers her the taxi fare, telling her to leave. Yuin lets go of the requesting tone and informs him that she's gonna stay here. Jang, like the cornball he is, tells her to go find another room in the hotel. Then, however, she thinks that the bed is already big enough to accommodate both of them. He refuses, expecting her to sit down and make the first move. Unfortunately, Yui doesn't know about such roleplay stuff. She falls on the floor and starts crying. She doesn't know why Jang hates her this much and why he's treating him like she's the 3rd season of One Punch Man. Jang is finally realizing the downsides of targeting girls with zero experience. He gets down, apologizes to her, and finally leans in for a kiss while thinking how he's Ayano Koji. If Ayano Koji was a pervert written by a shut-in gooner. Yui confesses how she instantly fell for him the moment she realized he was the one helping her last night. It was like a Prince Charming rescuing her in the most desperate moment. Yeah, if Prince Charming were a result of the collective effort of all the men of the neighborhood. Jang hugs her, claiming that he likes her too. He then takes her to bed, and after 20 years, Yui's score goes from 0 to 1. The next morning, Suwon visits Xiao Xiao at her agency and asks about Jang Cheng. Xiao Xiao is aware that he plans to sign Suwon. She'll also resign soon once the company handover is complete. Suwon asks why Xiao Xiao is giving up the position that she worked so hard for, so she explains that she's intelligent enough to side with the main character. That way, fate will always support her. Suwon is still confused as to why Xiao Xiao trusts him so much. Just then, this office boy walks in, asking manager Xiao Xiao to come downstairs. A package has arrived for her. Xiao Xiao has been rejecting everything lately because of her femboy ex-fiancé, and it's not rare for a beauty like her to receive presents. However, they can't turn down a car that is already paid for. They arrive downstairs and find this pink Lamborghini that Jang sent for her. The entire company is shocked, wishing they had a boyfriend like this too. Xiao Xiao's friendliness goes to 90 feet since no one has ever done this for her before. Well, that's because no man was ever written by a retard maxer LinkedIn post writer before. Remember guys, reading 1 LinkedIn post is equal to unreading 5 books. Their relationship has advanced to inseparable in life and death. Of course he gets a reward for that. The reward is 1 consumption cashback card with a 1 to 100 multiplier. The second is, well, first in my bloodline to read this. All those words in the Chinese language, and the author decided to join them to make a sentence like this. We aren't properly using our free will. Jang's father should have gotten this card so his mother would have devoured Jang for pleasure and spared us this atrocious story. Dinah's reaction and reward pops up for acquiring a stable investment company. If ever you mean acquiring, the story is on autoplay with 0 interference from the main character. Jang invests 500 million to start an investment company, with the reward being 10% profit. Finally, a realistic profit. He names the company as Star Investment Company. He's now getting 1.5 Yui per second. Just then, Yui is back from the shower in just a towel. Jang wonders if he should use that card on her, but since Yui is inexperienced right now, he settles for just the main course. An hour later, Jang and Yui are enjoying breakfast. When Yui asks him not to tip during the live stream anymore, 6-7% of the tips go to the platform, leaving only around 30% for her, so she doesn't want Jang to waste that much money. She doesn't want Jang to give that to her directly either. What he did that night is more than enough for her. Even manager Wang is surprised at hearing about this rich boy spending 2 million on a live stream. Yui asks if she can continue streaming, because she's prepared to stop if Jang asks her to. However, Yui is not the kind of streamer showing skin for views, so he lets her continue. It's not like she's a streamer with a bad reputation. What Jang needs to make sure of is that Yui informs him right away if some big streamer tries to bully her. He then tells manager Wang to extend his hotel stay for another 2 months, so he doesn't have to worry about it anytime soon. Manager Wang and Yui try to explain to him that it's simply a waste of money, especially since he plans to travel back and forth. It's not like he'll be here for the entire 60 days. He can own a mansion for that much money, so why rent a room for only 60 days? Yui saying all this makes sense, but why is manager Wang so concerned for him? It's like she's more loyal to Jang than this hotel. This makes Jang curious, so he checks her profile and finds out that Wang Yuian's friendly points are already at 80. The most shocking part is her privacy count being 0 at the age of 24. In her 24 years of life, she never found a decent guy, and now obviously will fall for a scumbag. Wang Yuian feels shy at Jang's direct gaze at her. She already knows this young kiddo has been with 2 different women in the last 6 days, yet she feels an urge to become the 3rd one. Her mind keeps wondering about what she would reply if Jang asks for some extracurricular services. Jang, on the other hand, has been feeling this strange urge inside him since the first day. Like the urge you get when there's a pen in your hand and a balloon comes in front of you, or the urge to open your calendar app when a group of girls passes by. Jang gets a similar urge to pop Yui's balloon or open her apps. He wants to see how far he can take things with her. But with Yui here, he decides to postpone thinking about it. Wang Yuyan leaves with Jang's credit card to book for another 2 months. On her way, she runs into her coworker asking if the guest is difficult to serve. Unfortunately, the guest is not difficult to serve, but difficult to resist. This coworker baddie is worried about being at the bottom of the rankings this month as her latest client also checked out, and she's free the whole day. They all envy Yui Man for landing a client for an entire week. Most of the clients only spend a day here or 2 at max. Yui Man encourages her that there are still 20 days till the end of the month, so she shouldn't worry. Knowing that Yui Mae's guest will be checking out today, she asks if she has any plans for later. That's when Yui reveals that her client wants to extend his stay for another 2 months. Now that's way too shocking for short-hair baddie. Just the commission of Yui would account for 240k. However, Yui intends to talk to the management to offer her client a discount, even though it would result in lower commission. Then her coworker asks if she needs any help to tend to her guest, in case she's tired after working for 6 straight days. She also asks about the guest looks. Yui doesn't have to answer because her blushing face reveals everything. Seeing these expressions, she even offers to serve Yui's guest without any portion of the commission. She just wants a portion of her guest. Yui tells her to stop teasing. Her guest is a billionaire, so he can already get any girl he wants. She wonders what he thinks about her. Maybe he also thinks about her as she does. That said, she heads off to the manager's office. The manager with X-ray glasses is shocked. He thinks that a client this precious should be thanked personally by CEO Wang. Why is everyone Wang? After 10 minutes, Jang sees a notification of 3.8 million being subtracted from his account. He wonders if the hotel made a mistake, as it should be 4.8 million. He even gets a 10x cashback, so 380 million is deposited in his account. He hears a knock on his door and it's Yui, accompanied by the manager and the CEO, Mr. Wang. He gives Jang his personal card and informs him about the 20% discount they gave him on Wang Yuan's request. Yui convinced them to give Jang a 20% discount on all super VIP services from now on. This discount just cost Jang 100 million cashback, but he respects Yuan's effort for him. She even reduced her own commission to go this far for Jang. She's indeed a good woman. Jang thanks the CEO, saying that he'll remember this favor. The CEO then leaves after ordering Yui to take care of Jang's all kinds of needs. Back in the room, Yui jumps on Jang saying that she doesn't want to leave. Jang tells her that he needs to take care of a few big things, but she's more than welcome to stay here until he's back. However, staying with Jang is the whole point. She's not interested in the hotel or its VIP services. Jang promises to contact her once he's free. An hour later, Jang meets up with the big things he needs to take care of. Unfortunately, with absurd power comes absurd responsibilities. Jang's responsibility is to deal with this guy who keeps popping up. Male titans in AOT did not have reproductive organs. Why? Because their reproductive organ is not getting the fuck out of this story. Femboy is back with another tactic. He wants Xiao Xiao to marry him or else he will jump into the Huangpu River. Jang isn't happy with Xiao Xiao not telling him about this pest still bothering her. She didn't think mentioning a cheater to Jang was necessary. By the way, the guy she left the cheater for just spent the night with another woman, but he gifted her a Lambo, so he's different and better. Xiao Xiao wants Jang to just ignore him, but it doesn't look like the noisy guy would shut up until Jang deals with him. He reminds Xiao Xiao that he can't swim, so whatever happens to her/him will be Xiao Xiao's responsibility. Just then, he tries to grab her to pull her away from Jang, but the MC finally steps in. Jang has read solo leveling, so he knows when to step in to gain maximum aura. He has decided what he wants to do with this noisy bottom. He calls the guards and informs them about the threat. However, he doesn't want them to stop him. In fact, Jang wants them to pretend to stop him and let him drown. Mr. Bottom tries to remind the guards about the rule of law and how murder is illegal. What should be illegal is wearing this flat tie at the bottom. The guards are confused, so Jang makes the offer more believable and feasible for their families as well. The guards, who hardly make 4,000 to 5,000, getting a chance to rid the world of this defective piece, and getting millions on top is kind of a no-brainer for them. He tries to knock some sense into the guards by reminding them what they are agreeing to do in bright daylight. Jang tells him that he was the one who came up with the plan to jump into the river, so he should face the consequences now. Seeing that guards are a bit hesitant and Jang himself doesn't want to go down that route right now, he transfers the guards 100k for each of them to beat the hell out of this fungal fruit. He pays them in advance and watches the satisfying outcome of spending his money. Xiao Xiao is bored, so she wants to move on now. She doesn't want their date to be ruined by this ladyboy. After 5 minutes, the guards drag what remains of this guy and exchange numbers with Jang. They'll be happy to assist him with similar assignments in the future, and will make sure to deal with the aftermath as well. Jang asks Xiao Xiao not to keep stuff like this a secret in the future, although there's a high chance Jang Yui won't bother them again. It's been a while since System gifted anything to Jang, right? It has been a couple of hours since the last reward, so a system window pops up and rewards Jang with a private security company. Now he even has the guys to do dirty stuff for him without getting blood on his hands. All communication will happen through his phone and all chats will be encrypted. Now, with their plan to look for a company head office, Jang and Xiao Xiao begin their workdate. She's glad that this commotion didn't ruin Jang's mood. It would have if office hunting was his only goal, but we know he's actually doing pumpy hunting. They arrive at the Shanghai Financial Center. Jang loves the place and it's perfect for a startup. Yeah, because startups can afford an entire furnished floor and one of the most expensive corporate towers. There's one thing they need to make sure about this office. The work they'll be doing the most should be comfortable. Xiao Xiao gets the hint and closes the blinds so no one disturbs them. She gets down on her knees, crawls like a good beach, and hydrates herself directly from Jang's small tap. After finalizing the deal, Jang is back at her hotel, where Yuyin seems a little too happy to see him. She asks if Jang would like a massage first or a bath first. Jang replies that he needs to eat first. Yuyin isn't happy because she has been practicing some new arrow techniques to try on Jang. She doesn't know that bro only wants to refill the drained energy to battle with Yuyin on full HP. Unfortunately, Xiao Jang didn't leave any energy in him for another battle, so Jang calls it a day. The next day, Jang arrives at the auto show as per Wang's invitation. While they are still talking, Jang notices a goddess beside this beautiful car. The girl is Zhou Ying, whom Jang hasn't met since the last car show. For some reason, she looks a bit unhappy right now. Just then, a pervert who very much resembles the author of this story tries to take an underdressed picture of Zhou Ying. He thinks that someone wearing clothes like this deserves this treatment. Jang intervenes and kicks the guy with all his might. A kick to remind this pervert that the only scumbag in this story is going to be him. Jang claims that his foot slipped and caused his phone to break. He shouldn't take any offense. Mr. Perv tries to fight back, but Jang dodges it nonchalantly with his hands still in his pockets. Now that Mr. Perv has launched the first attack, Jang can use self-defense. Since attack is the best defense, Jang knocks the Perv out. Just like that, the ultimate fight scene written by a 4-year-old wraps up. The car show manager apologizes to Jang for this inconvenience. Jang asks him to call the police and then talks to Mr. Wang about how he expected Shanghai to be better than this. They claim that pervs like these are not common here, but still they apologize. Yui thanks Jang for the help as he makes sure she isn't hurt. Jang then introduces Zhou Ying to Wang Zhang and Chen Hao as his classmate. She asks if Jang is here to buy another car, to which he reveals that he might buy one for the guy who is the reason for this disastrous story, his father. She reminds him that the dinner she owes him is still due. She also asks when Jang plans to visit Chengdu. He isn't sure yet. He asks Zhou Ying if she would like to accompany him to the dinner. Chen Hao is treating them to later. She agrees to join them and will let him know once she gets off work. Jang looks around the auto show and finds a beautiful sports/sedan. The car is only 2.2 million, so Jang buys it and asks them to have it delivered to Chengdu. He also needs a handover ceremony since it will be a surprise for his daddy. Wang Sheng and Chen Hao congratulate him on his new luxury car, but Jang states that the reason he picked this one is that it doesn't look very expensive. His mom would scold him if he spent too much. At this point, one can't tell whether he's just humble bragging or retard maxing. Wang Sheng is amazed to see Jang buying the 4th car in 7 days, each costing millions. Even Chen Hao feels a bit jealous, since the cars he has were bought with his dad's money. At least Jang dad worked hard for it, unlike some prick who's getting a senseless amount of money and still pretends to be the one who spent countless sleepless nights to get to this stage. The least the author could do was make him humble. But nah, he gotta rage bait his readers with the monthly dose of cornball injections. By the time Jang completes the paperwork, Zhu Ying is off from work. Even in her casual clothes, Zhu Ying looks way above the other girls. No wonder she was recognized as the school's prettiest girl. Now that the summer break is about to end, Jang wonders if Zhu Ying will go back soon. She nods and asks if he's also surprised to see her working to earn some cash. She knows that people talk about her behind her back. Some even mock her for being a Bentley girl to now a part-time worker with minimum wage. She isn't too bothered though. She never had any close friends, so whatever people say about her, she doesn't care. She thinks that earning money with her own hands feels more real than before. Obviously, Jang wouldn't know about hard-earned money since he's just the author's bitch, so he says that a girl as pretty as her shouldn't have any problems making money. Not everyone likes to sell her body like your mama. Jang, it is not that easy. In fact, it's more difficult when everyone tries to exploit you into giving a taste of this cake. Even in such a serious and deep conversation, Jang keeps flirting and complimenting her, because what else can a scumbag do? All he thinks about is poo. He always knew Zhao Ying was a cool beauty, but he didn't expect her to be so down-to-earth. What a deep compliment from our author. Zhao Ying wanted to treat him to dinner to thank him, but somehow she's the one getting a free meal. They finally arrive at the farmhouse where Chen Hao and Wang Zheng greet them. Unfortunately, an unexpected guest arrives as well. This guy who looks like he uses past form of verb after subjunctive are did. Wang Chang has a bit of a grudge against Wang Sheng and only drops by when he wants to stir up some trouble. However, he's not someone you can just kick out, so they have to maintain decency and serve him now. Chen Hao mistakenly calls him Xiao Chang instead of Wang Bro, so that troublesome guy is already pissed. Elite naming sense from our lovely author. Jang is our protagonist and everyone else is Wang. This red pony guy, who looks like he's still in puberty phase, calls Xiao Chang. They join Jang's table, and after half an hour, this yellow-haired boy is drunk. He wants to share some insider trading tips since he recently made over 10 million in the stock market. Don't be surprised if you see him selling a course soon enough. If it's so profitable, why are you selling a course? Put those hours into more trading. He's even slipping a few sarcastic comments towards Chen Hao and Wang Zheng. One decent trade and bro thinks he's the son of that orange fish, lips with all the insider information. Chen Hao knows exactly what to hit him with. He reminds Zhao Chang about the 2 million he owes them. Zhang tells him to calm down since they are all here to have fun. For absolutely no reason, Zhao Chang gets angry at Zhang and calls him a country bumpkin. He even throws a glass of drink at him. The glass didn't hit anyone because of the sissy throw, but the drink ends up ruining Zhao Ying's shirt. Now that the limits are crossed, Chen Hao and Wang Zheng get up to kick this loser out. Seeing that there's a greater number on the side against Shou Chang, this red hair instantly switches up on his fam. Seeing everyone against him, Shou Chang gets further agitated. Zhang steps forward and asks him to apologize to his classmate. He obviously refuses, so Zhang slaps his face. He keeps slapping him until this princess with heavy mood swings finally apologizes. Zhang is also trash-talking him, but the trash talk is so trash that it's not worth mentioning. Shou Chang grabs a chair and tries to hit Zhang, but Zhang kicks him like Cristiano Ronaldo if he were a polio victim. Wang Zheng tells this humiliated mustard to just get out at this point. Shou Chang leaves, but not without warning Zhang that he will take his revenge. Turns out, Shou Chang grew arrogant when his family gained a significant market share 2 years ago. Zhang replies that in that case it will be interesting to see just how capable they are. Now that the mood is ruined, Zhang decides to drop off Zhou Ying. The host apologized to him once again, but Zhang is fully aware that it's not Chen Hao or Wang Zheng's fault. On their way back, Zhang gives the keys to Zhou Ying so he can be the passenger princess this time. Zhang asks if Zhou Ying likes to race. She replies that she never raced before because of her strict family. However, she does plan to do so someday. They arrive at the destination, so Zhou Ying thanks Zhang for all his help. Her face turns red as she shyly turns away. This was the author's attempt to show that Zhou Ying is developing feelings for him. Zhang brings out his phone and decides to test the new security company given to him by the system on Shou Chang's food business. Later that night, Chen Hao sees the social media filled with people complaining about Wang Zheng's products. Turns out, it's everywhere, even the new channels are talking about it. The citizens are canceling Wang Foods overnight. Zheng and Chen Hao finally realize that it must be Zhang taking revenge for the disrespect today. He did say he would test their capability. The Wang family is rich, so they won't collapse overnight, but the damage is too great to recover anytime soon. It does scare them a bit as they weren't expecting Zhang to be this dangerous. Shou Chang's father is fuming. He has no idea what's happening. He doesn't even have any hair left on his head to lose on this life and death matter. The idiot who caused this is oblivious, although it doesn't look like he cares enough. It's obvious that someone is intentionally harming the company. Seeing his son's wrecked face, Until realizes that this shy must have been behind this mess. Shou Chang reveals that some arrogant country bumpkin jumped him, but he'll deal with it later. This time, Uncle slaps him for trying to be a gangster when he knows he doesn't have the balls for it. On the same day, his face was slapped more times than the cheeks of Cornstar in an hour-long video. It finally hits Uncle at his son getting beaten up, and the company facing this issue on the same day might not be a coincidence. He worked 30 years to achieve this 70% market share, and all of a sudden, it has dropped to 40. Shou Chang doesn't think Zhang is behind all this. After all, the thoughts in his big brain can only go as far as the next room. Uncle Heisenberg orders him to go beg that Zhang guy to stop this mess or he's gonna divorce his mom. Looks like someone was waiting desperately for a reason to divorce. Shou Chang tells his father to do whatever he wants, but he's not gonna beg. Even Mama jumps into the conversation, saying that he shouldn't go this far over some minor issue. They have dealt with many problems before, they will deal with this one too. Just to inform them about the gravity of this issue, he tells her that if she divorced him yesterday, she would have gotten 500 million, but today she'll only get a 100. He tells his son one last time to go and either resolve the issue or bring back divorce papers. Mama doesn't want to live alone with as little as 100 million. She also insists Shou Chang should just beg the instigator and get this issue done with. Meanwhile, at the hotel, Zhang's security team informs him that the plan has been executed. The Wang family's worth has suffered an 80% loss. Wait a second, is he drinking soup with milk? Yu Yang asks Zhang if he needs anything else, but he thanks her for everything. He asks if she was the one who changed his clothes when he passed out drunk last night. Turns out she did. She saw him with Zhou Ying and realized that a third girl had entered the chat. She shouldn't waste any more time before making a move. Hence, she changed his clothes and took the payment for this favor herself. The payment did taste good because of that weird skill that the system allotted Zhang. Zhou Ying claims that all she did was change his clothes. Nothing else happened. Certainly not something involving her mouth and his lollipop. That's not what he remembers. But he doesn't want to doubt her, so he figures that it must be a dream. As she then offers to show him a new massage technique she learned. Zhang lies on the bed, and turns out the new technique is basically under her skirt. Zhang's face turns red as he realizes just how much this girl trusts him. His inner scumbag is telling him to use this opportunity and break open the door in front of him. After the normal massage, Yui moves on to the special part. The uncanny positioning pairs Zhang's mouse to Yui's PC. Now that the connection is successful, they decide that they should just go all the way. Yuan's privacy count moves up to 1 point. Meanwhile, Shou Chang, who was sent to beg Zhang, is at a hotel with a girl. He needs to calm himself before the begging session, so what better than this? Unfortunately, both his cards declined. At this point, he finally realizes just how dire the situation is. He tries to convince the girl to pay, but look at his face. Not even Big Stein would call him up, even if he were 10 years younger. The girl then leaves as Shou Chang thinks of a way to deal with Zhang. The receptionist asks if he still needs to check in, but the guy lashes out at her, saying that the main course has left, so why would he need a room now? He asks if she would like to take her place, but the girl's face clearly shows that he would rather be tortured with a lifetime maths class than to accompany him. His dad confirms that none of his cards will be unblocked until the issue is solved. He then calls Wang Zheng only to see them enjoying what he was supposed to enjoy right now. He admits his mistake to them and requests to arrange a meeting with Zhang so he can apologize. Wang Zheng and Chen Hao can't even remember the last time this arrogant guy admitted his mistake. Wang Zheng agrees to pass on the request, but he can't promise anything for now. Chen Hao wonders why he didn't decline right away, but he explains that Shou Chang is himself asking for a humbling session. Why would he take away Zhang's fun? They know that even if Zhang stops here, the Wang family is in no situation of pulling a remontada. He then asks Zhang if he's willing to meet Shou Chang. Zhang agrees. Zhang then texts Zhou Ying and invites her to tax tonight. Later that night, Zhang and Zhou Ying meet up with Wang Zheng and Chen Hao. The boys have started addressing Zhou Ying as Zhang's girlfriend. For some reason, she doesn't want to clear up this misunderstanding. Zhang then places an order for 3 giant dragons, a few bottles of imported liquor, and snacks. The manager asks if he should send other kinds of snacks as well, but Chen Hao scolds him for making such an offer in front of Zhang's girlfriend. One man Chen Hao. The manager apologizes and leaves. The drinks arrive and Zhou Ying shares that she has always been curious about this expensive liquor. It's a shame she can't try it since she has to drive on their way back. Zhang tells her not to worry, as he will buy a few bottles on their way back so she can enjoy them at home. Zhou Ying's friendliness increases as this honorable, decent guy in front of her is throwing away the opportunity to get her drunk. To her, it just shows how much he cares for her. Finally, the main character of this party arrives. Shou Chang is here to get down on his knees and suck the apology out of Zhang. Zhang Ying isn't happy to see him, but Zhang tells her to calm down and enjoy the show. Shou Chang bows down and offers a sincere apology, but Zhang reminds him that the one he should apologize to is not him. Shou Chang then apologizes to Zhou Ying. At this point, her heart is beating faster for the guy who's going so far for her. Now that he has apologized, Zhang reminds him of calling him a country bumpkin and smashing a few bottles. Since he likes smashing bottles so much, Zhang gives him the 3 bottles of Giant Dragon and orders him to put on a show. Shou Chang wasn't expecting to be humiliated like this, but the direness of his situation doesn't allow him to refuse. He grabs the bottles and starts smashing them on his head one by one. Zhang claps for him along with Wang Zheng and Chen Hao. Shou Chang then passes out, so Zhang asks the manager to call an ambulance for him. Now then, he gets back to his date with Zhou Ying and raises a toast. The bunny girls are a bit afraid of approaching Zhang from now on. Meanwhile, this other guy at the bar is curious about Zhang now. Shou Chang is a known bully in this city. The only guy he doesn't mess with is Qin Fen. However, this Zhang guy humbled him good. Seems like Zhang Cheng is a much bigger deal than he looks. After the party, Zhou Ying thanks Zhang for doing so much for her, but she asks him to have a one-on-one date next time. A date with just the 2 of them. Zhang promises that no weirdo will disturb them on their next date. After dropping her off, Zhang sends a message to his security team to stop the attacks on the Wang family. The team leader then informs Zhang that Zhang Yu has been gathering information on Zhang with the intention of suing him. He has also been regularly disturbing Shou Chang. Zhang has reached the maximum tolerance limit of this sissy mosquito's disturbance. Like a toxic horny ex, this chugga keeps coming back. He asks the security head to set up a trap for him and get him out of this country. Back at the hotel, Yuan approaches Zhang with a red face. She can't stop reliving their last oil-up session in her head. Zhang pulls her closer, so Yuan reminds him that they still haven't entered the room. Someone might see them here. They enter the room where they have already captured the bed zone, so they decide to target the sofa zone this time. Yui gets down on her knees and imitates an HR working hard to get a pay raise. Meanwhile, this muscular guy enters the nature bar and heads to the counter. The other person sitting there is Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu knows that 9 out of 10 people in this bar are mentally challenged. Zhang plays a voice message in front of Zhang Yu, clarifying that he's indeed one of them, and is a top. Zhang Yu can't wait to be the ashtray where Mr. Chad puts his cigar. He flirts a bit with Mr. Chad and realizes that he's in his most vulnerable state. Mr. Chad introduces himself as Li Minhong. Zhang Yu listens to Minhong's sob story for an hour and a half. Just when Zhang Yu thought things were going to get interesting, Li Minhong got up to leave, saying that he had a flight to catch. Li Minhong says goodbye to him, although he also wanted to get to know Zhang Yu more. He also felt a connection between them. Zhang Yu doesn't want this opportunity to slip by, so he decides to book a flight to Thailand and go along with him. The next afternoon, Zhang arrives at the Thailand airport. He's greeted by Wang Zheng, of course another Wang. Zhang can now check the data of the same gender as well. Unlike before, when he could only use this feature on ladies and Zhang Yu, This security team captain already has 120 friendliness value. He takes him to the hotel where Jong Yu is tied up. The guys wake him up. Jong Yu still thinks that he's tied up for some kinky play. Little does he know, he's about to become a bottom forever. Upon seeing Jong in front of him, Jong Yu realizes that he's been honey-trapped. Jong reminds him of the warning last time, but Jong Yu states that murder is against the law. Bitchy, what you were doing with Shou Chang is also against the law. Jong knows that drug overdose claims a high number of lives every day in Thailand. No one will bat an eye if the number increases by 1. If not, Jong generously offers tons of other ideas. It's up to Jong Yu to choose his favorite one. Still avoiding this route, Jong decides to let him off the hook one last time. However, he orders his team to confiscate Jong Yu's money, cards, passport, ID, and everything. If he still survives and makes it back to the country, Jong will consider it God's will. Now that this matter is taken care of, Jong decides to head to Hung Chung Ko. He hasn't signed for the shares from the last system reward. Now that he's here, why not do that? Jong arrives at the company and meets with the major shareholder, Mario. After a warm welcome, Mario brings the share transfer contract. Jong trusts him and signs right away. Normally people would have it read by the team of lawyers, but Mario's friendliness is at a 110, so he's never going to betray Jong. Now that the official work is done, Mario offers to show Jong the culture of this country. Jong is already spending way too much energy on 3 cultural activities back at home in the form of Shou Chang, Yin Yin Yu Yan, so he passes on this offer. However, he does want to take a spin around the city to look at the actual culture. Wang Zheng accompanies him. At this time, they can only look around the local night market, so they head there. While they are enjoying food at a stall, Jong notices something fishy. 2 Diddy employees are trying to add a child to their inventory. Jong signals his security head to save the girl. Wang Zheng sends both the guys flying. Jong then approaches little Pokemon and asks if she's lost. Little girl introduces herself as Annie. She thanks Jong for saving her and reveals that her mommy wasn't letting her get cuttlefish, so she ran off while she wasn't looking. Thankfully, she remembers mommy's phone number, so Jong gives her a call. After 10 minutes, mommy arrives, and Jong understands why Annie was referring to her as mommy and not mama. This is An Xin. Despite being a baddie, she's still an Asian mom, so the first thing she does is slap Annie for running away. After that, she hugs her. An Xin then thanks Jong for saving her daughter. She knows that she should keep a closer eye on Annie and promises to be more careful in the future. Annie seems to have taken a liking towards Jong, so we know she'll soon become a wingman for him. An Xin offers a thank you meal, but Jong reveals that he will be back in Wrong City tomorrow. What a coincidence. An Xin is also from there. They already have each other's numbers, so she promises to offer her gratitude when she's back. Jong checks her profile, and to his surprise, An Xin's privacy is 0. He wonders how it's possible. He wonders if Annie is a Bluetooth child, or if she's downloaded from torrent or something. For now, he's just happy because An Xin can be his mommy too in the future. As she is leaving, her security head asks if he should investigate Jong, but she tells him not to. Her instincts tell her that he's not an ordinary man. Investigating people carelessly can lead to some dire consequences. The next night, Jong is already back in his home. His parents are grateful that he still remembers how to come back. Jong then gives them the gifts he bought for them with Su Wan. Mama Jong is happy to know that her child's taste is better than his father's. Un plays the trump card and reminds her that her being his life partner is also his choice. Upon their inquiry, Jong lies about the price to avoid scaring them. Like a normal Asian mother, she skillfully switches the discussion towards Jong's wedding, saying that some of her colleagues have single daughters. Knowing that there's no end to this conversation, knowing that even the system cannot save him from this conversation, Jong flees. Papa Jong is happy. His investment of raising a child to provide for him in his old age is looking good. Mama Jong is amazed that after all these years, her husband still knows the best combination of words to turn her off. In Taiku Li, Jong sees a crowd gathered around someone. Just then, Jong hears a familiar name. Zhao Ying is standing in the middle of the crowd, all embarrassed at being proposed to by this NPC. Not just any NPC, a rich NPC who's offering her a necklace worth tens of thousands. Of course, he's another Wang. Zhao Ying tells Wang Yui not to cause a scene, as he knows that she only sees him as a friend. However, Wang Yui's feelings for her will not change. Once she accepts, he intends to go to the jewelry store together, so she can have a custom-made diamond ring. Zhao Ying is getting angry now. She wants him to stop. However, Wang Yui came prepared. He even hired a cheerleading squad to persuade her to become his GF. From the outside, it seems like a pure gesture, but everyone knows this is just to guilt trap the girl into accepting. After so long, we see the system window showing a special mission. Jong can be a spectator or help Zhao Ying. The rewards aren't even necessary at this point. Since the system is generously offering rewards, Jong might as well rescue Zhao Ying. Meanwhile, she's standing there silently, trying to muster the courage to refuse. However, Wang Yuan makes another preemptive strike. He says that he'll consider her silence as a yes. Finally, Jong intervenes with a small flower he just picked out, counter-offering Zhao Ying to be his girlfriend instead. The crowd wasn't expecting a love triangle, but now that they are here, why not enjoy it? Unfortunately, Jong doesn't have much support since he only has a small flower against a necklace and an expensive bouquet. Wang Zheng looks down on Jong, saying that he can't expect to bag a goddess with such a small offering. A portion of the crowd now feels bad for Jong because he's too outmatched. To everyone's surprise, Jo Ying accepts Jong's flower. The crowd starts believing in love again. They start believing again that money is not everything when it comes to love. Jong pulls her closer, but Wang Jung tries again. He asks Jo Ying to reconsider her decision, but Jong tells him to pack his bags, bro. He can't compete with the author's favorite. He tells Wang Zhen to accept the rejection like a man. However, Wang Zhen claims that his broker can't afford Jo Ying's happiness. On the other hand, he can bring back the golden days she was living before the tragedy. Jong asks Jo Ying if she likes the luxury cars and expensive jewelry that Wang Zhen is talking about. She confesses that she does, but it depends on the person giving all those to her. Jong asks if he was the one on the giving side. Jo Ying replies that she would obviously love them. This should be enough of an answer for Wang Yui, but he tries to bribe Jong into leaving for a mere 100k. He even shows off his expensive car to Jong to intimidate him into backing off. Just then, the shopkeeper approaches Jong, informing him that he left one of the bags at his store. Jong politely asks her to put it into his car. As he points to the car, everyone realizes that Jong is much richer than this rejected guy. The people who just started believing in love realize that they were wrong. It is about money after all. They realize that they need to lock in. Now Jong is mocking Wang Yui, asking what he thinks about his car. Wang Yui realizes that he should have controlled his emotions before becoming a joke in front of everyone. Jong and Jo Ying head off to a coffee shop, where she reveals that Wang Yuan is her mom's friend's son. She only sees him as a brother. She thanks him for rescuing her, and is happy to see that Jong is just as playful as he used to be back in school. Jong is happy to know that the goddess actually noticed him at school. That due to a strict family background, she couldn't hang out with anyone, but she always felt jealous of how Jong and others would mess around together. She, on the other hand, was invisible. Jong tells her that a girl that thick can never be invisible. Instead, she had the most presence among all the students. Zhao Ying claims that if that were true, people would have approached her, but Jong shares that her queen-like aura made everyone think that they didn't deserve an interaction with this goddess. Murashi asks why he didn't approach her. Jong claims that he was too focused on studies. His relationship with Zhao Jai says otherwise. Jong buries the topic, saying that they only talked a bit and ended up in a relationship, but honestly, they were far from being boyfriend and girlfriend. Zhang Ying's friendliness is at 78 as she states that she would love to hang out with Zhang's group if she could go back in time. Zhang wonders why her friendliness is not rising quickly like others. It must have something to do with being rich before. Expensive gifts are not rare for her, so she's definitely harder to win over than others. The system pops up with another quest, hinting that he should still buy gifts for her. As a reward, he'll get 5 shopping rebate cards. Zhang brings her to a jewelry store, saying that he needs to buy something for his mother. Jo Ying is too focused on holding hands together that she doesn't realize Zhang brought her here to buy gifts for her, not his mom. He picks out the most expensive necklace and asks her if she likes it. She finally realizes and tries to refuse, but Zhang reminds her that she did say earlier that she would like anything he gives her. She doesn't think that their relationship has progressed to the point where they should exchange expensive gifts. However, Zhang states that she should think of it as nothing but a random gift between classmates. Now that the necklace is around Zhou Ying's neck, it does look pretty. Zhang buys a few more things, bringing the total bill to 1 million. The shopkeeper feels a bit jealous and wonders why the girl with him is trying so hard to refuse these gifts. Says not everyone is a gold digger. As a reward, the system pays Zhang 50 million cash back. After the shopping concludes, Zhang brings his date back to her apartment. Turns out she's living in this not too fancy, not too poor building. Everything else her father bought was mortgaged, so this is the only true property left to them. Everything else went to the juice. Zhang leaves, and Jo Ying enters the apartment. Upon seeing all the gifts, her mom figures out that she must have accepted Wang Yui's proposal. However, she clarifies that Wang Yui is like a brother to him. Mama doesn't seem too happy as she thought Wang Yuan might help them with Zhou Ying's father's debt that he left to them before logging out from this world. Zhou Ying herself isn't too fond of Wang Yuan, but she doesn't want her daughter to face similar financial problems. Zhou Ying tries to comfort her mom, saying that she'll keep on taking jobs until the debts are paid off. However, they both know that part-time jobs cannot generate millions. She thinks Cho Chang should give Wang Yui a chance. He might actually change into a person worthy of her. Cho Chang refuses and tries to flee, but Mama grabs her hand, highlighting the expensive necklace she's wearing. She asks if this so-called classmate is the reason Cho Chang declined Wang Yui. Cho Chang claims that she and Zhang are only classmates. Mama doesn't buy that. Why would anyone buy such expensive gifts for no reason? Zhou Ying clarifies that he's too rich, so these expensive things are practically worthless to him. Finally, someone with a brain. Someone giving you a necklace from hard-earned money is much better than someone who receives 1 billion per spank from the author. Mama wonders if Zhou Ying prefers Zhang over Wang Yuan because he has more money. But Zhou Ying says that even if she started a relationship with Zhang, it wouldn't be for his money. Mama tells her not to think of money so lightly. A rich guy can fill her stomach with expensive cuisines, while a poor guy can only fill her stomach with his seeds. Zhou Ying doesn't want to continue this conversation, so she leaves. The next day, Zhang receives a call from Annie, the little Barbie he saved in Thailand. Zhang right away asks if Annie has ran away again. Turns out Annie is with her. Annie is calling him to invite him tomorrow to celebrate her birthday together. If one wingman isn't enough, another wingman appears. The system gives Jong two options. If he does agree to play with Annie, he will receive affectionate eyes, a skill that would make women think that he's staring into their hearts, while he's simply staring at them balloons. It's no-brainer, so Jong agrees. The next day, he meets up with Annie and Mommy. Annie wants Jong to buy her a gift now. Angshin scolds her daughter for asking too much. Jong's precious time should be enough. She apologizes to Jong on Annie's behalf. This little girl may be the size of a chessboard pawn, but she has the brain of a grandmaster. She replies that the only reason she wants a gift from him is that she likes him. She likes him just like her mama likes him. Kevin De Bruyne level assist, and Sheen tries to play it off, but Annie reveals that Mama often talks to Grandpa about Jong, and Sheen states that she was only informing her father about the Thailand event so he shouldn't get the wrong idea. Jong says not to worry and proceeds to the shopping mall. Everyone is admiring this cute family as it clearly looks like Jong is the father to Annie and husband to Anshin. This family picture is also being drawn in Anshin's mind, and she's low-key enjoying it. We don't need to know what Jong is picturing in his mind, because what else but the physical acts of love. After buying the gift, Annie is tired, so she's sleeping in Jong's arms. The date is about to end, so they start walking towards their cars. Just then, Papa Jong sees his son walking with a pretty lady holding a little child. Papa is shocked and disappointed. He never expected to become a grandfather this soon. He always taught Jong to place a goalkeeper before taking the shot. This freaky guy is standing in the middle of the street, thinking about how his son made a baby with that girl. Stop watching corn, Anek. He shifts his train of thought, and now he thinks that maybe Jong is a victim of this girl. The child appears to be at least 2 years old, which means Jong must have become a father at an illegal age. This girl must be a predator. However, something doesn't add up. Judging by her looks, anyone would love for her to prey on him. Just then, an accomplice of Jong's father notices him and calls him out. Hearing his dad's name, Jong turns around. His father reveals that he's here to discuss a project with some clients. Jong shares that he's only here to entertain Lil Annie, so her mommy can entertain him later. He didn't actually say the second part, but we already know it. Anshin greets her future father-in-law, saying that she has heard a lot about him and will definitely visit them someday with Annie. Now Jong's father is even more worried. The conversation clarified that Annie is not his granddaughter, but she definitely will become one if he doesn't save Jong. The guy who approached Jong's father earlier surprisingly asks if Mr. Jong knows CEO An. He wasn't aware of this, but now that he knows, he can guarantee Daddy Jong that the project will be given to him. Papa Jong wonders just who that girl is. There's more than just curves to her. After an hour, Jang arrives back at home with his father giving sus looks. His mother immediately asks if she should introduce him to the daughters of her co-workers that she was talking about earlier. Jang tells her that no one goes on blind dates in this era. Immediately, she switches the question to the main topic. Is Jang already seeing someone? Jang says that it's a complicated topic and he would rather not discuss it right now. His father immediately calls him out on this comment since he already witnessed the curvy complications earlier today. Jang asks if Anshin having a daughter is an issue for him, so he states that being open-minded is not wrong, but he doesn't want him to go down the path that he may regret in the future. Right now, he might only be thinking about satisfying Lil Jang, but what about after Lil Jang is satisfied? Also, she seems wealthy. He makes sure Jang is not thinking of her as a sugar mommy, but Jang tells him that he's overusing his near-expired brain. Seeing that this is turning into a big understanding, Jang shares everything about his trip to Thailand. Now his parents finally understand the whole scenario and apologize for ganging up on him. Jang heads back to his room and checks his social media. Turns out everyone is talking about the Linru and Suwon controversy. Linru apparently pushed Suwon and abused her seniority by doing multiple takes of the slap scene between her and Suwon. Things got so bad that Suwon's face got swollen. Since she has a higher fan base, people are actually praising Linru for giving her all to that scene. They think that Suwon should maintain composure if she wants to make it big. Jang could easily tell that Linru's team had hired trolls and was using specific pictures to blame everything on Suwon. Not only did she bully and bruise her, but she's also harming her reputation. Jang is extremely furious, so he gives a call to his security head, telling him to ruin Linru, no matter what dirty tricks he needs to pull. After an hour, Jang meets up with Suwon and brings her to a hot pot restaurant. They start talking about the recent trending news. Suwon apologizes for not being strong enough to fight back. She's clearly disturbed, so Jang tells her that anyone who hits her should be hit back. Suwon is already aware that Jang is making moves from the shadows. Even Xiao Xiao is leading a social media team to defend Suwon. Jang wonders why she's still playing these minor roles when she's already signed with his company. Turns out the filming of this drama had already neared its end, so she decided to finish it first. Just then, Jang's phone rings and it's his security team, informing him that they have already collected evidence against Linru's bullying behavior and started a campaign against her. Jang replies that he wants to completely destroy her, so they should offer a heavy reward for anyone who brings more dirt on Linru. He then grabs the bottle from Suwon, asking her to stop drinking already. She insists that she wants to drink away all her troubles. 2 hours later, Jang carries the drunk diva to a hotel room. He puts her to bed and is about to leave when Suwon, in her most vulnerable state, grabs his arm and asks him to stay. Stop suffocating our brother under those melons. Well, Jang isn't protesting though. Jang definitely wants to go all the way. He has been looking forward to it since the first day. However, if he does it right now, it would be like taking advantage of her. He wants to take it slow and steady. Jang pushes her back on the bed while trying to leave, but Suwon keeps knocking on Lil Jang's door to wake him up and bring him out. Jang takes another look at Suwon and folds. He's a man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. But right now, he can't help using all those attributes to lay carnage to this battleground. He decides to worry about the future and leans in to kiss Suwon. The 1v1 battle begins, and Jang is launching multiple attacks at once using his hands, mouth, and even a bit of Lil Jang. However, Suwon stops him. She's drunk enough to fool around a bit, but not drunk enough to go all the way. Jang immediately gets back to his senses and pretends to be drunk as well. Suwon is pushing him away, but she's fully aware that she was the one who lost control first. But if she agrees to it, the Council of Women will cancel her. Jang suggests they should just go to sleep. Suwon asks him to go ahead while she heads to the bathroom, where she relives what just happened. She has never had such close contact with anyone before. For now, the 1v1 battle has been postponed and a truce has been made. The next morning, Jang and Suwon are having breakfast when she checks her phone to find out that lots of dirt on Linru is circulating on the internet. She asks if Jang was the one to do it. He admits, saying that Star City Entertainment will always protect her. Suwon is extremely happy. Not only is Jang offering her a much better contract, but he's also paying the contract breaching fees and standing up for her against a big company. She promises herself that she will become an actress worthy of all these favors from Jang. He still thinks that he needs a little more to completely destroy her, while Suwon is amazed at just how wealthy this guy is to be throwing money like this simply to destroy someone. Jang asks why Suwon is turning red. It's not like he's destroying her, which he will be happy to do, but in a different way. Suwon can't believe how this thirsty guy keeps sneaking flirty attacks with a straight face. Meanwhile, at Shanghai King Entertainment, the CEO of Tianwang Entertainment, Sai Song is having a meeting with Linru and her agent. Her follower count has taken a massive hit, and all those vocal supporters have gone silent. The agent and Linru state that they didn't do anything after the Suwon controversy. It must be one of their competitors dragging her name through the mud. He thinks that maybe Suwon has something to do with all this, but Linru claims that a mere support actress shouldn't be capable of all this. Even if they are getting negative publicity, it is still publicity, so they should just ignore it for the sake of the upcoming drama. CEO Song has already paid to suppress the worst trending topics, but he can't spend any more, so he'll let the minor issues stay on trending. Just then, this office guy interrupts the meeting, saying that they have hit the second tower. Sorry, he informs CEO Song that it was Star Entertainment who offered a 20 million reward for any dirt on Linru. 20 million is crazy. Song's flabbers are gasted as he asks Linru if she cheated on him or anything to get on his bad side. Linru takes a few minutes to go through the massive list of people she has formed physical relations with. She doesn't remember the CEO of Star Entertainment being one of them. The office guy reveals more information, saying that it should be related to Suwon since she recently terminated her contract to join Star Entertainment and has already landed a few big roles in upcoming hit dramas. Linru tries using her tears to gain sympathy, saying that she wasn't aware of Suwon switching companies. She only took a small revenge on her for making her lose face in public. She had no idea things would get this serious. CEO Song's hands are tied. He can't let Linru become a flop actress before her contract ends. Breaking the contract alone will cost him hundreds of millions. He decides to put on a counteroffer to pay 25 million to shush anyone who can harm them. Song is furious with Linru and informs her that her foolishness has cost them 25 million. There won't be next time. Linru bows down to thank him while giving us a show of the back door that has allowed many men to enter in the past. Jang Tel calls Jang and informs him about the 25 million offer made by Tianwang Entertainment to protect Linru. It's hard to think of this as a problem when the newsbreaker is so pretty. Hi lol, just then the system gives Jang the task to fight Tiancheng Entertainment. All the expenses will be paid by the system. Jang tells Xiao Xiao to raise the budget to 100 million and handle the rest. In the off chance that they still make a counteroffer, just raise the reward again. Jang Xiao is shocked. Even Suwon, who's having breakfast with Jang and listening into this conversation, is shocked. The blonde baddie reminds Jang that they need money for their newly established company. They shouldn't be so reckless with the funds, but Jang thinks that this offer will only show the market that this newly established company shouldn't be taken lightly. This 100 million will definitely be a stepping stone for them, helping them establish big connections. Also, the larger the amount, the more eyebrows it will raise. Jang wants everyone in the industry to remember the name of his company, Xingchen Nasuo Entertainment, and the name of the CEO, Jang Cheng. It makes sense now, so Zhao Zhao gets to it right away, feeling a bit jealous that Jang is spending 100 million for Suwon. Girl, you recently had a Lambo delivered to you. Later that same day, a 100 million offer took over the internet. Even Qin Fen sees the offer and wonders who the big spender behind this company is. He reads that the CEO is a young guy named Jang Cheng. The red dude remembers this name, so he reminds Qin Fen that Jang is the guy they met at the auction and then at their showroom. They couldn't meet up again since Qin Fen had to go abroad. From what they remember, Jang Cheng is surely the guy who would offer 100 million like it's nothing. Qin Fen also heard about how Jang took down the Wang family and is now destroying Linru. He's not just rich, but ruthless as well. Clearly the type of guy they should have good relations with. He asks if one of the girls Lin Ru bullied is his GF, but Red Hair Kun reveals that they are not. Jang has piqued Shin Fen's interest, so he decides to invite him to hang out soon. Chang Entertainment is having a late-night meeting with all the shareholders and the board of directors. Even the offer of 25 million was too hard to fulfill, but the shareholders are now backing off, saying that they are not paying this much just to save a girl. The alternative way is having Lin Ru pay the breach of contract fee through brand sponsorships and lots of commercials. If the debt still isn't cleared, they will send her to Japan to shoot for live adaptations of Eki manga. Lin Ru cries and protests, saying that she doesn't want to become that kind of actress. She promises to kneel down and beg the CEO of Xingchen for forgiveness. She'll bend down or bend any way he wants. However, CEO Song knows that someone offering 100 million won't let her go with just an apology. Still, they would prefer to negotiate directly with Jang Cheng. The next day, the Jang family is hanging out and celebrating Jang's father landing a big amusement park project. It was thanks to An Shin, but now they will be millionaires. Just then, the car lady arrives and greets Jang. Papa Jang isn't happy to see her greeting Jang first, when clearly he's the future millionaire. Jang clears the misunderstanding, saying that since he will be at school by the time Papa Jang's birthday arrives, he wants to give a surprise gift. The car showroom team then reveals the sports sedan, and Papa Jang is as delighted as the time he first popped Mama Jang. Jang wanted to buy something flashy but settled for this since it felt more suitable for him. Jang can't tell him that his son is already driving a Porsche 918 yet, because they only know about one investment. That reminds him that he still needs to transport his cars to Amaniyangyun, as the school will start soon. The salesgirl Batty then takes a family photo and leaves the car to its new owners. Blah. Just then, Jang receives a message from Zhou Ying that she's heading back to Shanghai tomorrow due to work. Her original plan was to stay here a bit more, but the meal she owes him will have to wait until he arrives in Shanghai. Jang immediately informs his parents that he's heading back tomorrow. Asian parents are usually strict, but not when their son gifts them an expensive car. Daddy wanted to have Jang stay a few more days, but the man of the house, Mama Jang, has given permission, so Dad couldn't say anything. It's been years since he has fully submitted to his wife. He suffers every day, but you will still see him smiling. He doesn't want to be rescued. He's exactly where he wants to be. The next day at the security checkpoint, the goddess is surprised by Jang behind her. He reveals that he wants to travel with her again. Her friendship value has reached 88, so Jang is only 2 points behind bagging this baddie. She asks if it's another vacation, but Jang claims he needs to go down there for work, but his real intention is to go down on her. But finally, wonders if she's ready for that one weird card yet. Jang keeps flirting with her until the plane is about to fly. He sees Jang nervously holding the seat handles. Turns out she still occasionally feels uneasy when the plane is taking off. All the more reason for Jang to tightly grab her. The way she looks at him and thanks him for the help makes Jang lose control. Can't blame him really. He gives Jang a surprise kiss and is surprised more than her when she actually leans in and kisses back. The intensity of the kiss even made this air hostess weak in her knees. Jang Chell pushes him away after literally sucking out all the flirty remarks he was ready to make. She reminds him that they are in a public place, so Jang replies that it was just a light show of affection. She's too flushed to talk to him right now, so she takes a nap on his shoulder. 2 hours later, they arrive at Shanghai Airport, where Jang asks her to get inside the car so he can drop her off. Jang Yi refuses, saying that the detour will cost him an hour to reach Amaniyangyun. Plus, she still feels that they haven't gotten to that point in their relationship. She takes a taxi, and Jang realizes that he should slow down a bit with her. Back at the hotel, Jang feels that Yuian is acting a bit distant when they have only been away for a few days. Turns out Yui got 100k from him before he left, and she did try to contact him a few times over the past couple of days, but she didn't hear anything back from him. She got really nervous, thinking that this playboy had abandoned her. She knows what kind of man he is more than anyone else, but she can't help being attracted to him. Jang asks her to rub his back as he gets into the bath. Yui decides that she wants a defenseless, all-out battle this time, so she gets rid of all the armor and jumps into the battle. Yui steps out of the bath with unsteady footing. The battle has exhausted her to the point where she can't even walk without using the wall as support. Unfortunately, the enemies haven't backed down yet. Seeing that Yuin is still breathing, the enemy sneaks behind and pulls the only item left in her possession, the towel. The enemy grabs her to a secluded place perfect for a 1v1 and begins action right away. Yui ends up battling the enemy the entire night. The next day, she wakes up at 1 p.m., realizing that she's too late to clock in. The staff will definitely be pointing fingers at her. Jang reminds her that she was only prioritizing the company's policy to satisfy the clients. He thinks that it's still too early for the battle to end. He pulls her onto the bed once again and begins another round before they head out. Yuin asks if he wants her to be his girlfriend, as he's not letting her leave his side. Being a scumbag, Jang replies that she can be his girlfriend if she wants to be, or she can leave if she wants to. He has made his wish known to her already. She knows he's only interested in sparring with her every now and then, but she wishes he would find a place in his heart for her. She knows she's just one of the many sparring partners he has. However, Jang says that she already has a place in his heart, otherwise he won't even be hugging her right now. Yui feels better after this answer and asks for a favor. She has already fallen for him, so she doesn't like seeing him with other sparring partners. She wants him not to call her in the room when he's battling with someone else. Jang agrees and focuses on the current battle he's about to commence. Unfortunately, he receives a call that his car is here and they need him to sign the documents to unload the car. Jang comes downstairs and signs the documents. Seeing a Porsche 918 getting unloaded gathers a crowd as everyone tries to take a few pictures. Just then, the CEO of this hotel drives in and notices the blocked entrance. The employee states that it will only take another minute, but Wang Mingyang is angry because it shouldn't have been blocked in the first place. He leaves the car to see who's causing all the commotion. The employee doesn't know what he did wrong, as it was the CEO's orders to prioritize Jang's convenience. The employee tries to ask Jang to please hurry, but before he could, Mingyang finally realizes that Jang's car is the one causing all this. He stops the employee and says that nothing's wrong. He just wanted to ask Jang if everything is up to his expectations. Jang claims that it is, but he needs a favor. He wants a special Modu license plate and wonders if Mingyang knows any sellers. Mingyang does remember one of his good clients buying a license plate in an auction that happened here. He promises to let Jang know if she's willing to sell. An hour later, Jang receives a call from him, saying that the meeting is set. Jang arrives at the destination, followed by another goddess making an entrance this late in the story. Her name is Chen Shuer, age 26, and a jackpot for Jang, as she has 0 privacy count. However, he realizes that there's a bigger issue to undress. Why is this girl, whom Jang has never met before, have 120 loyalty? No romantic feelings, yet absolute loyalty. Before Mingyang could introduce them, Chen Shuer herself approaches Jang and asks what brings him here. Turns out she's the manager assigned to Jang's Star River investment company by the system. The system be assisting 10 by 10 baddies like Prime Iniesta. Chen Shuer isn't happy that her beloved boss forgot about her. However, Jang claims that she's managing the company so well that he hardly needs to meddle in. He shows his appreciation by a clap of his hand on her cheek. Mingyang thinks that he has seen something he shouldn't have seen. Chen Shuer is a famous ice queen. Being a topper graduate at one of the most respectable universities, Chen Shuer started her career at 19 as a genius in the investment world. Many companies tried to bring her in, but none of them managed until Start River Investment Company. Mingyang is shocked that even a genius baddie like Chen Shuer gets ignored by Jang. Just how big a deal is this guy? That will the three enjoy the lunch? Chen Shuer thanks Mingyang for arranging a meeting with her big boss. Mingyang was already interested in Jang, but seeing that he owns the upcoming giant of the investment world and he has Chen Shuer on board, he can tell that this guy will be a public celebrity soon. She asks Jang if he read the report she sent him last night about the latest investments. Jang did see a bit of that report and was impressed that Chen Shuer made over 20 million profit in 1 week. Meanwhile, Chen Shuer has always wondered why Jang never contacted her or anything. Now she knows that this guy doesn't give a single flying fork about his company. All he wants are cheeks to clap. She then asks if Jang wants to own the 5 million worth unique license plate. Since they are from the same company, Mingyang realizes that he doesn't need to be the Steve of this meeting. Originally, Chen Shuer wasn't interested in selling the plate, but since Jang is the one who wants it, she will gladly give it away. Jang thanks her and asks her to deduct the fee from the company's account. He promises to visit the company soon and will be relying on her hard work. He shows his trust in her by caressing her thighs gently, so she knows that it's the purest form of trust. Just then, he receives a call from Qin Fen and the group saying that they are about to visit a private collection and if Jang would like to tag along. Jang meets up with them at the given address with his new license plate. Jang also has a similar number plate, so they know just how expensive it is to get one's hands on it. Jang proudly reveals that a beautiful angel gave it to him and even refused to accept the payment. At this point, Wang Jang knows Jang isn't lying. He states that the private collection they are here to see also belongs to a woman. He wonders if Jang's charm would work on her as well. The lady is young, but she does have a child. The boys propose a challenge to Jang to try to win the heart of this rich sugar mommy. Being the scumbag he is, Jang agrees to finish the meal as long as it's soft and tasty. The guys enter the mansion with the same rule as always. Whoever spends the most will treat others tonight. Wang Jang shares that the owner of this museum is one of the biggest watch collectors in the country. They are taken to the reception room and shown a slideshow of all the watches available to buy in the inventory. Jang is interested in this 1.5 million watch, whereas Qin Fen is interested in an 8 million watch. The boys keep on browsing through the watches while having the corniest discussion known to mankind. What kind of lonely a person thinks that all guys talk about is sleeping with women? An average discussion among straight boys is either the gayest conversation you'll ever hear, or it's about bringing back the glory days of the painter, or the conversation is so dark that the police slimes it on the spot. Jang is also interested in buying this 3-minute repeater model watch. Unfortunately, that extremely expensive watch isn't up for sale yet, so the butler apologizes to them. Jang's heart is set on it, but Wang Jang tells him not to worry as they can buy it the next time they're here. Just then, the owner of this collection enters the room. She got stuck in traffic, which caused her to be late. Turns out the rich mommy who owns all this is none other than Anshin. She's surprised to see Jang here, so she immediately greets him and wonders what brings him to Shanghai, even though they were just hanging out together in Chengdu the other day. She talks about how Annie keeps asking about him, and she would have invited Jang here herself if she knew he was also in Shanghai. The guys are amazed at Jang's deep connections. She then points at the watch Jang was looking at, asking if he likes this one. Jang says that he does, but it isn't up for sale, so he will gladly look at other available options. Anaoshin reminds him that she didn't ask about him buying it or not. She just asked if he liked it. She immediately orders the butler to pack this watch and hand it over to Mr. Jang. The boys are gobsmacked into another dimension at seeing a watch worth more than 10 million being given away for free. Wang Jang feels embarrassed that they always have to agree to a set of conditions before buying, but in Jang's case, she's giving away a model that isn't up for sale free of cost. She clarifies that if Jang asks, she will give him anything, or to be more specific, she will give her everything to Jang if he just asks. Jang tells Anshin that he will only accept the watch if she lets him pay the market value of that watch. Anshin wants him to drop these formalities. She thinks that their relationship is closer than this, but she knows that forcing her wish on him would do no good. She then suggests showing the exclusive collection that she doesn't let any outsiders see. The other guys also want to have a look, so they ask if they can join too. And Jang allows without taking any offense. This just shows how highly she regards Jang. They are taken to what almost looks like a bank's secure vault. A whole team of bodyguards is following them as per the procedure. They finally enter the room where every watch is a one-of-one limited edition. It's scary to even see all these exclusive models all together in one place. She even has the Rolex that James Bond wore, and the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger Nigar wore in Terminator 3. And Shine asks Jang if he likes any of these. Matter of fact, he loved every watch in this room. However, he's not going to take something precious to her, so he sticks to his original choice. With all these people around, Ansin won't be able to force him into accepting the gift, so she decides to back off for today and wait for his birthday or any other special occasion. Half an hour later, the boys are back in the reception room, where they inquire about Jang's relationship with Ansin, who is not in the room right now. Jang reveals that it's only his third time meeting her. This only surprises them more as she has taken way too much liking to him for 3 meetups. Jang reveals that it's because her daughter Annie likes him. Wang Zhang makes a joke that makes him very much worthy of having his name in the files. Jang Xin is back in the room with the watch Jang liked. She bought it for 18 million in 2016, and right now the price is at 30 million. Since Jang won't agree to pay less and she won't agree to accept full payment, she suggests meeting halfway at 24 million. Jang requests her to put it on his wrist herself. Jang compliments her for doing just right. She did it exactly how he likes, not too tight, not too loose. The other guys realize that they are only third-wheeling at this point, as it looks like they would engage in a fierce battle right away if these three weren't present here. Jang transfers the money and the guys take their leave. Since Jang spent the most, he will be the one paying for dinner tonight. Normally, it's always Chin Fen paying for it. Jang leaves it up to the guys to pick a place while he thinks about the 4 rebate cards he still has in his inventory. Chin Fen suggests going to the newly opened bathhouse owned by his friend. Suddenly, all the guys feel like taking a bath and having a neuro massage. They arrive at the bathhouse where this guy brings out the best masseuses they can offer. Since it's Jang's first time hanging out with them, Chin Fen lets him choose first. Every girl is a 10 by 10 baddie. Every girl has a single-digit privacy count. However, Jang notices that Jiang Meng has 0 privacy count, so he obviously chooses her. The other boys each choose one and decide to eat first so they can all enter the battlefield with full HP bars. The guys are all enjoying the food while the desserts are sitting next to them. Having 0 privacy means Jiang Meng is a bit more reserved than the other girls. Just then, Jang receives a call from Yui asking if he's back in town. Jang tells her that he'll be a bit busy tonight, but he'll definitely play a game of tennis with her tomorrow. The guy asks if it was Jang's girlfriend, but before he could reply, he receives another call from Shosho. She asks why his phone was busy just now, so Jang replies that it was a business call. She asks when he can spare some time for their usual workout session, so Jang tells her to warm up and be prepared tomorrow morning. At this point, the boys are just betting on how many more games he will fit inside tomorrow's schedule. James switches his phone to silent so no one else disturbs his guy's night out anymore. The guys are already looking up to him, thinking that he's the epitome of scumbag. A man whore no one can compare to. A guy who can make his own files. Chin Fen asks Jane to take things a bit easier. He's only 18 and playing 3 matches in less than 24 hours can result in an ACL tear. He doesn't want Jane to end his career so soon. Chin Fen is the best person in the room for this advice. Why? Because he's a veteran scumbag. He's the most consistent scumbag. After reaching the peak of corny loser conversation, Chin Fen shifts the topic to Lin Ru, wondering how she managed to cheat on him. Jane doesn't know what he's talking about because he has never met Lin Ru. Just the thought of him spending 100 million to ruin someone he never met, for someone who's not even his girlfriend, is diabolical. 20 minutes later, Sha Meng and Jane enter the shower cabin so Jane can finally enjoy the desert. Sha Meng is nervous. The only knowledge she has about this stuff is from a few movies she watched. She reveals that her reason for joining this place is to work hard to get money for her grandma's medical expenses. Jane shut her up with a kiss and starts making her work hard for the money. The next morning, Sha Meng wakes up and finds Jane already gone. He did leave a note for her saying that the card beside it has a 100k that should cover her grandma's medical expenses. He could have helped her without smashing all night, but neither is he that kind of person, nor is this that type of story. At least she won't have to work here anymore. Meanwhile, Jane is already at the office to meet with Zhou Zhou. On the way to the elevator, he runs into Su Wan, who who waits to greet him until they are in the elevator. She's making sure to avoid all types of conspiracies so she doesn't bother Jing with an issue like Lin Ru again. Jing is happy to see that Su-won is already popular enough to have paparazzi on her back. She gives all the credit for this popularity to Jing and his company. She's happy that she got to see him thanks to Xiao Xiao, but Jing tells her to feel free to contact him whenever she misses him. They arrive upstairs where Zhao Zhao takes Jane to her office so they can work out in peace. Meanwhile, the company employees are wondering if manager Zhao Zhao has hired this new handsome model. The girls don't know yet that he's their employer, and given his nature, they will soon get to know him when he claps each of them. Jing is happy to see what Zhao Zhao has done with the office. She then offers him tea, not Witch of Greed, echidna's tea, but still a good tea. Jane thinks that young people like Xiao Xiao should drink milk tea instead of this. Since they don't have any milk here, he grabs her from behind to happily provide it. After half an hour, Su-won enters the office and sees Xiao Xiao all exhausted after the miking session. Su-won wonders why Xiao Xiao's lipstick has come off, so she reveals that Jing told her bad things about the lipstick brand that made her remove it right away. Su-won wipes Xiao Xiao's lips, saying that something white is still on her face, without any clue that it's the protein shake she consumed during the workout session. Su-won finds the taste of this protein shake a bit weird but ignores it. Alright bro, calm down a bit, okay? Decide what kind of story you want this to be first. 30. Su-won enters Jane's office to look around a bit. She's impressed with the decor, saying that rich people do know how to enjoy life. Jane asks if she would like to enjoy some rich experience with him, but she states that she wants to thank him by giving a massage. She recently learned a few techniques for a maid role. Jane obviously allows, as he can see Su-won getting bolder with her. Turns out Su-won is actually good at massage, as she makes our drained soldier fall asleep. Just then, the one who drained his energy walks in. Xiao Xiao asks Su-won to wake him up as they need to cover a lot of corporate stuff. Seeing how professional Xiao Xiao is, Su-won feels bad for suspecting that Xiao Xiao and Jane like to milk each other. After 2 hours, they are done with all the documentation. Seeing how tired he is, Xiao Xiao asks if other workout buddies are drying him out too much. She asks how many of the buddies he has right now. Jane reveals that he has 2 other regular workout partners. He even reveals the identity of Yu-yin and Yin-yin. Jojo asks if they are prettier than her, but Jane reminds her that even if he goes on a 100 smash streak, Jojo will always be his first. She will always be special. She playfully asks if Jane has what it takes to fulfill all 3 of them. Now that she's doubting his stamina, Jane decides to let his actions speak louder by doing consecutive cardio sets without any break for another 4 hours. He needs to recharge before meeting up with anyone else, so he stops at this barbecue store and asks if he can park here. This AI-looking uncle says yes and takes his order. Judging by Jane's order, these 2 NPC unks could tell that somebody is enjoying a colorful life, although they claim that when they were young they did need to rely on supply crates to win solo. Just then, Jane's car is hit. Old man apologizes for letting him park here, but Jane asks him to focus on his order. Grilled kidneys over portion 918 is a no-brainer for him. After Xiao Xiao squeezed every drop of juice from his lemons, Old man brings another AI-generated dude pointing at Jing and saying that the car belongs to him. Turns out, this guy is the one who hit Jing's car, so he wants to apologize. Jing tells him not to worry as they are both safe. That is the only thing that matters. The AI dude makes a call while thinking how rich one must be to react like this upon getting his car hit. Not sure about Thorfinn, but Jing definitely doesn't have any enemies. Maybe the real Vinland is between the legs of pretty ladies. Qing Mian's brother finally arrives. His name is really unique. It's safe to bet that you have never heard this name in your entire lifetime. Are you prepared to hear the name? Without further ado, we're gladly revealing that the name of this guy is Wang. Wang Kongming is the son of the richest man. Even Jing knows him since he's very famous. Qin Fen didn't call insurance because they would inform his sister, and he would never be allowed to drive a supercar again. He then introduces Jane to Wang Kongming. Kongming apologizes to Jane for being struck by Mr. Supercar Killer, but it's funny to see him enjoying skewers like nothing happened. They thank Jane for not making a big deal out of it, and as a token of appreciation, they would like to invite him to Monster Bar to properly apologize. Right now, they are in a bit of a hurry, so they leave. They ask Jane if he needs a lift, but he already asked for a driver. A bit later, Yuian arrives at the barbecue restaurant. Jing enjoyed the tasty meal and wants some dessert now. He grabs Yuian and asks if she would be his dessert, especially since she smells so good right now. Seems like Jing liked the perfume a little too much, as he tries to inhale every single atom from Yuian's body. The 2 unts from before are impressed with Jing getting straight into another battle even though he just recharged. Jing knows that this barbecue kebab place isn't suitable to take out his own kebab, so he moves the cooking session inside the car. Justice for the poor driver who is definitely going to empty all the tissue boxes once he's back in his room. The next day, Yuian is feeding him as a good waifu should. Jane receives a message from Zhou Ying asking to have lunch together. Of course, Jane agrees and sets out right away to pick her up. After squeezing a power buff directly from Yuian's mouth first, Jane meets up with what can only be called as an eye candy. Jane wants to buy a handbag for her, but Zhou Ying doesn't want him to waste his money on gifts. However, gifts are common between a couple. Jane doesn't want her to act so distant from him. He asks the shopkeeper to show them the best available outfits as well, since Zhou Ying's outfit seems to barely cover the assets. The condition to use a shopping cashback card is spending a minimum of 500k, but Zhou Ying's consecutive refusals didn't allow him to spend this much. They head to the hot pot restaurant on the 4th floor next, where Jing sees a familiar face. Jing is sitting there enjoying a hot pot all by herself. Okay, she's not alone. All her broke viewers are also enjoying an HD video of hot pot. To avoid any embarrassing situation, Jing himself approaches Yui, asking what she's doing here. Seeing her Prince Charming in the house, Yui turns off the stream. "You're like a good bed buddy." Yui takes the hint and asks Jing if the girl with him is his girlfriend. Jing nods, so Yui introduces herself as Jing's friend. Just a friend, a casual friend. A casual friend who had a casual sleepover involving casual back-and-forth animalistic movements. Zhou Ying isn't buying that. The way she looked at Jane seemed a little too romantic for them to be just friends. For now, she gives them the benefit of the doubt and introduces herself. Jing is low-key enjoying this interaction between these two potential caps of the same pen, his pen. Jing invites them to eat with her. Zhou Ying wants to refuse, but Yu Yin actually has no friends, so this would mean a lot to her. Zhou Ying looks at Jane, who says that he has no problem with it. Yu Yin asks Jane about the unique watch on his wrist that she has never seen before. He reveals that it's a normal children's model for 1,500 yuan only. Bro, that was 24 million watafaka. Lyco. Ironically, the girls who are dumb enough to fall for him are not dumb enough to fall for this watch lie. Ying feels embarrassed because she almost believed him. For some reason, she's treating Zhou Ying like her baby doll by trying to feed her. Of course, she's not being nice without any ulterior motive. She then inquires Zhou Ying about how she and Jang met. She reveals that they went to the same high school. She can't do anything about it, but what she can do is try to get back at the guy in front of him for embarrassing her. She slides her feet up Jang's leg until she enters the dangerous territory. Little does she know, Jang, being a man, has been playing a scenario like this in his head ever since he hit puberty. He's not gonna lose. He grabs her foot and turns the tables around on her with some gentle tickle torture. Now, poor Yui is regretting playing this game. She's continuously talking to Zhou Yui while making sure not to let out a dangerous soft moan. Seeing that she's holding up really nicely, Jane turns up the intensity. Jean couldn't help but scream. She tries to cover up by saying that something funny popped into her mind. Meanwhile, Jing is not backing down. He keeps tickling her foot, and at this point, Jean's eyes are all teared up. She gives Jing a helpless look with her eyes begging for forgiveness. He finally decides to let her off the hook for now. He heads off to the restroom. It's up to you to decide why he went to the restroom after this funny playtime. Upon coming back, he sees the girls sharing contact infos with each other. Jing has declared Zhou Ying her best friend from now on. Whenever she's free, she will ask Zhou Ying out to show her different hangout spots. Jing smiles as he knows just how amazing and pure-hearted Jing is. The same girl who started crying when Jing played hard to get by the way. Just then, he receives a message from Qi Yuan asking him to come to Monster Bar. Jing leaves Zhou Ying in Ying's company and heads off. Upon arriving at the bar, Jing is given a warm welcome by the rich fellas, surrounded by all kinds of treats. This other dude thinks that Kong Ming might have gone too far by bringing this many ladies, but they have no idea who Jing is. Just the last 48 hours of his life had more action than most of the characters in Attack on Titan, because, well, most didn't live long enough to get any action. Qin Fen then orders the most expensive drinks available. Kang Bi mocks Qin Yui, saying that he can't even remember the last time he was this generous. Jing is surprised to see that both guys have already considered him a good friend. He's happy, but not too happy, because that would be gay. Not as gay as those fellas putting birthday countdown stories, but still gay. The party begins as the DJ raises the bar. The drinks appear with all these tasty bunny outfit snacks. Jenny approaches Jing and offers to raise a toast for him. She's currently working as a model, so Jing tells her that she has excellent potential to be a top influencer. He tells her that the upcoming influencer era will be different from before. The more followers you have, the more successful you will be in whatever your line of work is. Whether you run a sweet home for orphans or do OnlyFans, the more the followers, the more the donations. The Jing even tells her the secret to becoming successful in his country. Just say I love China, and the Chinese algorithm will push her like One Piece fans pushing the argument that it gets good after 900 episodes onto your face. Jing wasn't expecting too serious of an advice. Kang Ming wants to know more about why Jing is so optimistic about it. He reveals that he doesn't care about the industry itself. He cares about the influencer economy. It's neither the influencers nor the brands making the most money. It's actually the juice the platform's owners. He's not interested in an influencer company like an MCN agency or something. Kang Ming is impressed to see the way Jing is looking down at tens of millions and is aiming for hundreds of millions. Kang Ming is the first one to understand what Jing is talking about. He's basically planning to launch Musical.ly, followed by TikTok. He was reborn in 2023, and by that time the market value had already reached 400 billion US dollars. It's a golden opportunity he does not want to miss. Kuai Yuan interrupts the bonding time between bros and asks them to spare some time for the girls. Kang Min instantly gets defensive and asks Jiang Cheng to continue his talking. However, even Jiang brushes him aside and toasts him to a drink. 2 hours later, Chi Yuan is already planning to book a room with a hot girl in his arms. Our boy Zhang assesses the girls beside him and decides to go back. Yuan warns him about how female drivers can hook up and demand money, making Zhang thank the dude for his useless advice. With that, everyone takes a different direction to leave. Yui, the designated driver, fumes in jealousy when she sees Zhang with some other chick and hurries over to claim her spot. Jenny can't help but step aside after thanking the man about his lesson. Later, Yui confirmed that Zhang is going to her house, even throwing a tantrum that he was with another chick. Zhang does not like her attitude and shows one of his own, making Yui apologizes instantly when he points out that she knew what she was getting into from the start. The girl folds instantly and explains that she just wants attention from him, but Zhang reminds her what he has given her so far and even promises to never forget her as long as she is obedient. Yui cries a little to get some more points and even asks him to help with the itching that he started this noon. As soon as Zhang Cheng enters her room, he finds it too cramped, but he still throws Yui on the bed and make a mess out of her. The next morning, he asks her to sleep some more, but she wants to eat some real food now. Yui only eats instant noodles after her live streams, so Zhang offers to take her to eat some real food since her place does not even have a kitchen. The rent of the place is $1,600, which is a lot for a doghouse she is living in. Apparently, Yui does not live in school dormitory because the others have been bickering behind her back ever since she started live streaming. Zhang reads between the lines and concludes that the other girls don't like her since she is stealing all the spotlight. So he offers to pay for her new place of her choice and she rewards him with just a skinship. Zhang even offers to buy her new clothes, but the girl draws the line there, saying he has already given her too much. After some more empty promises, they finally leave the bed to go get some food. The lady at the restaurant welcomes them politely, but she is low-key jealous that Zhang comes with a new chick every day. When it is time to pay, Zhang Cheng uses his cashback card like some cheap dude even when he has millions. As the two leave for their little date, they come across a beggar kid. Yui feels sorry for the guy and gives him all the cash she has. The onlookers watch her pay the scammer and speculate that she is just doing this to impress the rich guy beside her. However, Zhang Cheng notices that the kid is too innocent to be a con man, so he gives the kid some money as well. The kid bows as deeply as possible to thank them. And with that, Zhang Cheng unlocks a skill that can sense honesty and hypocrisy in other people's words. Dull. The onlookers now truly believe that Zhang Cheng has gone crazy and even recognize him from some video. But the system tells Zhang that the kid is telling the truth, so he picks up the kid and asks how much money he needs more. Zhang Cheng feels bad that the swindlers have made it so that even the real cases seem like a scam to people. He assures the kid that he believes him and gives him 100,000 to pay for the surgery. The kid tells him it is too much and even Yui wonders what's happening. Zhang explains that there are other stuff to pay for after the surgery and makes the kid take the money. The kid thanks him with tears in his eyes, but Zhang is more happy when the system gives him danger perception skill and US stock information card. Later, Yui shamelessly says that after seeing the kid's circumstances, buying so many things for herself was extravagant. But Zhang assures her it's all right. He gets a call from Chi Yuan that his car is fixed. Half an hour later, Zhang finds himself hearing Chi Yuan's blabbering. Kongmin's also there, so the two start bickering like about owning supercars and clothes like they are in the same category. And then they wonder why people call them gay and a couple. Seeing the opportunity, Yui latches onto Zhang Cheng and pretends to be shocked at seeing some cars. Chi Yuan tells her that they have booked the whole place to test drive and there's even a girls' race later. Zhang Cheng encourages her, so the chick in heat agrees to take a look. Chi Yuan instructs Jiao Yin to get everything ready, but he is envious himself because he can't afford one and does not have a rich boyfriend to get him one. Zhang reminds his bro that he is not short on money, but Chi Yuan explains that he still uses daddy's money and is not allowed to get a car after 2 accidents. Zhang Cheng tells him to make some of his own money, but it triggers the guy. Even Kongmin teases Chi Yuan that he is not suited for stock trading with his inconsistent personality. Zhang Cheng looks at his newly acquired stock info card, which is telling him about a strong upward momentum, so he smugly says that one can make money quickly using stocks. Even the system encourages him to cheat and make some connections. Zhang considers it as a way to showcase his abilities, so he leaks the info that about the latest trend. Even Kongmin thinks the info sounds unreliable, but Chi Yuan seems interested. Zhang Cheng throws out that he has been very grateful for what they have done for him, so he is telling them top-tier secret info. Kongmin finally seems interested, but Zhang Cheng does not tell him the whole thing and asks them to trust his investment company. Even though it sounds like a scam, Chi Yuan fully trusts him, so Zhang promises him a supercar with his profit. Chi Yuan wants to know how much they are investing and is shocked to find that Zhang is betting all his fortune. Even Kongmin thinks he is no longer the son of the richest man since Zhang seems richer. Zhang assures them that the choice is theirs and this would not affect their friendship. With that, Kongmin decides to invest 100 million, and with Zhang's 600 million, they are trading on 700 million now. Ewing hears them talk in millions and wonders about Zhang's total fortune, which is totally a gold digger behavior. Zhang offers to allocate some funds for Chi Yuan, but the guy refuses to use his bro's money to make more money. Kongmin points out that Chi Yuan is never ashamed to take his money, but the pretty guy assures them that things will change from now on. Kongmin does not give a shit and asks for Zhang's account info because he is really looking forward to it. Ewing chimes in, blabbering about how driving is exciting, so Jiang offers to buy her a supercar just because he just received 5 shopping cashback cards and buying the car will cost him tens of millions. But Yui refuses for once, saying that she will think about it first. Jiang Cheng recalls that Ewing's apartment suggested that she does not buy extravagantly, and pushing her to buy a car now would put her under pressure. The NPC announces about the track being ready. Chi Yuan wonders about the prize for the game, but Kongmin refuses to help out, so Chi Yuan asks Jiang Cheng. He explains that usually it is all about money, where winner gets the prize and the loser pays for dinner. Jiang Cheng suggests turning it into an event to raise money for charity. Kongmin likes the idea, so Chi Yuan decides to announce this to everyone. Jiang Cheng only came here to slack off, but he is really motivated. As the first round of the race starts, Jiang Cheng decides to keep a low profile since it is his first time participating. With that, the first round's winner is someone named Han Enning, who is dressed for super hot rather than super car. She even have the gulls to call Chi Yuan incompetent. Out Pretty Boy suggests another lap to settle the bill, and she agrees, since she win again for an ego boost. Jiang watches the rampaging lowly with interest. When the race starts, Anning gets annoyed that someone got ahead of her and fights tooth and nail for that bit of validation. But it only makes the other driver to show such skills that the audience becomes his fan in an instant. And just like that, Jiang Cheng wins the race, accepting praises from everyone around him, which is nothing new. As soon as he takes off his helmet, Anning jumps in to be his friend. Our boy is impressed that her hands are that smooth even after driving like that. On the other hand, Anning is melting just from having her hands touched, so she asks for his contact info. Just to exchange driving tips. While 2 of his bros are impressed that Anning is folding like that in front of Jiang Cheng, our man remains calm and asks the system to check Anning's feelings. Seems like Anning wants to exchange something else entirely. Jiang Cheng instantly realizes that Anning wants to add him to her fish bond, so he refuses to exchange anything with her, declaring that he brought his girlfriend with him today. Anning feels provoked even though both are pink-haired. She reminds Ewing of the girl's round and asks if she is even capable of going around the room. Ewing is shocked that she is being targeted so openly. With that, we have reached the end of the currently aired chapters. Sorry if we went a little too hard on the author, but the story he wrote is so dumb that it's kind of a genius move. He knows that the story should either have a good plot or have characters like Xiao Xiao, Yin Yin, Zhou Yang, and Yu Yan with huge plots to keep the audience engaged. At the end of the day, he still won since we did read to the end.